Welcome to some underground sports gambling content. My name is Nick Parsons. They used to call me the Bookie Killer when I was a professional sports handicapper. You can find me on my website at bookiekiller.com. Tonight, we welcome two guests in the first half, 1530 Productions. Now, 1530 Productions is one of the only other sports handicappers, sports gambling content creators on Twitch. There's a few on here, but he's a guy that I got to know, so he's going to be coming on, and we'll talk to him about the game, about some of the picks that he has going on this weekend, about his channel. And then in the second half, we have Dan, the Professor Kaiser. And Dan gave out his first second half pick last week, on Monday night, and he gave the under. And there was a few people doubting him on that pick, but it came through big time, obviously. That game definitely looked like it was going to go over after that first half, and then it ended up staying under, and the Pats, of course, covered as well. So Dan will be coming on in the second half, and if you want to get his second half pick, you can just go to our Discord, which, if you're on Twitch at the moment, this is how you get it. And I'm going to post this on some of the other platforms here, because guess what, guys? We're streaming on 5 platforms at once right now. We're on Twitch, of course, but we're also on YouTube. And we're also on Facebook. And we're also on Twitter. And we're also on Mixer. So yeah, we're not pretending to be something that we're not, but we've got lots of interesting content and lots of interesting guests lined up. We're offering a lot too, different things, especially the Twitch contest right now. It's sponsored by Jazz Sportsbook, and once again, if you're in the Twitch chat, there's a link. And so Jazz Sportsbook has graciously stepped up to sponsor our monthly contest. And so the rules are simple. We're just getting going with the contest, and so we're hoping that it picks up steam. Right now, the October contest is probably pretty much wrapped up by one of our regular followers on Twitch. His name is Chronic Triggers. He's a follower of 1530 Productions too, actually. Yeah, and 1530 Productions actually has a really cool contest going as well. He just had his 1-year anniversary, and he gave away $1,000. Or actually, maybe we can ask him, because I'm not sure what happened with that contest, and so that'll be something to find out. Obviously, somebody won. I think on that weekend he did incredibly well too with his own picks. Of course, he doesn't count himself a winner, but he allows the followers, he gives his picks out so that the followers, if they want, they can follow his picks. And I think he did exceptionally well on that particular weekend. So yeah, we're getting excited here. I'm just going to wait about another 10 minutes and then bring in Drew, and that's Drew of 1530 Productions. And he told me he's in the middle of moving when we were doing a little bit of testing earlier. So, yeah, I've been talking to a lot of different people recently. And so, hoping to have varying guests. I was speaking to one esports handicapper today, and so that's something that's growing significantly, esports betting, and now there's esports handicapping, and so this guy is an esports handicapper. Yeah. Shooter McGavin, how's it going tonight, Insider? It's going great, Miss. It's going great, sir. So, this is the interesting part, being here and having to monitor the different platforms, etc. Yeah, and so that's something. It's going, sir. What I meant to say is, it's going good, sir. Not sire. Having some difficulties now typing. But you get the... yeah, I'm on the Rangers. I'm on the Islanders. And I'm on Chicago. Those are my picks. Oh, who's my hometown team? Ah, yes. Well, I am from the west coast of Canada, and so that just makes me a Canucks fan. I did live in Vancouver for a number of years, and I had seasons tickets for 3 years. And that was a lot of fun. That was back when the Canucks were good. And they never, of course, amounted to much or did anything, but yeah, that was a lot of fun going back then. So the Canucks, yeah, I guess. Yeah, I mean, they're looking exceptionally good this year. The goaltending, they're yeah, in both offensive and defensive stats. Actually, an upcoming guest is a guy. His name is Art Aronson. He's a handicapper, and his specialty. He actually does a podcast about the Canucks. So yeah, that'll be good to talk with him. That's coming up sometime in November. So here, we're going to come back to Chronic Triggers. Here's Chronic Triggers. Mr. Chronic Triggers is in the house on Twitch here. So I'm switching over to Twitch here for a minute. Bet skins 10,000. Mr. Chronic Triggers. 17. Again, Chronic, just so you know, it's not necessary to bet on every single game. In fact, you don't even have to bet on this one. Now, the rules are it's just only one game if you want. And so that means if you miss a week, it doesn't matter. But I think you have a pretty much insurmountable lead at this point for October. So no matter what you do, I don't think you can make a wrong move at this point if you just play small. Nice. What a bet. Look at this guy. He's sharp. Chronic bet 1530. That's epic. Well, we're going to wait about another 5 minutes here. And then we're going to bring in Mr. 1530 Productions. Yeah, it's very interesting streaming to all 5 platforms at once. But as I say, mostly I'll be looking at Twitch because that's where we have our most followers and everything. And there you go. Some point here shortly too, my family is coming home, and so there could be a minute of having to deal with loud kids or something. Yeah, that was a great bet wager there, Chronic. So Chronic, as you've seen, Jazz is now the sponsor of this channel, And we really want to work hard with Jazz to try and gain some traffic their way. They're offering great deals and everything. And so if people are wagering, why not wager with Jazz? And anyways, there's some more information about them. Well, I think there's no time to waste. Why don't we bring in Mr. 1530 Productions? I'll see if I can ring him up here. Here we go. All right. Let's see if we can do this. Sometimes we have technical difficulties. Okay, 1 minute. We need 1 minute. No problem. We can give 1 minute. On this show, we have some minutes to spare. Let me tell you. No, this is we're not pretending to be something that we aren't at this point. The show is slowly growing, and we're appreciating all the support and all the different stuff. As I say, we have a lot of fun here. We've got a lot of insight. We're giving out a lot of free picks, not only on the show, but also in our Discord. So I think we got lots to offer. So yeah, here I got the Rangers, got the Isles. I have Houston in college football and the under in that game. So that's looking superb. Okay, here we go. You guys ready? Let's bring in Drew. Testing. Testies. Drew, we can see you. You're looking fantastic as usual.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I had to go put on my loads and loads of makeup, making me look extra pale.
Right. Well, hey, I'm joining you. We're the pale crew tonight.
There you go.
So,
the palest streamers.
Anyways, on tonight's game, what are your immediate thoughts on tonight's garbage heap of a game here?
I mean, I was going to ask you, although I did see that you're a little bit on the Redskins fan. First of all, or on the Redskins side, first of all,
Yeah.
this is a kind of a stay away game for me. But if I have to choose, if the number is 16.5, which it was the last I checked, if the number is 16.5, I'm absolutely on the Vikings side.
Okay.
I think that, yeah, in my opinion, they're just such a better team. All they do at home when they're playing non-divisional opponents is cover the spread. And I also, as you know, I love to fade the perception of the public.
Yeah.
And that perception you've been hearing is, when it's a night game, Kirk Cousins, when it's nighttime, I don't know if he gets afraid of the dark or what, but he can't play during the night. So right. I'm sort of fading that perception. Thursday night football isn't exactly the same as Sunday night football. Or Monday Night Football. Those are the true prime time games for Kirk Cousins to choke in. Mm-hmm. This game against the Redskins, I think it's going to be a blowout, honestly.
And they do have two really tough upcoming road games immediately after this. They're in Kansas City and Dallas back to back. So I guess that does put added importance onto this game, obviously.
Absolutely, but you can see where it happened with... this is actually more of a college football thing, but there is a potential for looking ahead. They know, hey, we got the Redskins tonight, no big deal. Thursday night football, we'll get an extra long week. It is a little scary. Like I said, I'm staying away from this game, but if I'm playing a side, I'm taking the Vikings minus 16.5.
Okay, we have Shooter McGavin on here on YouTube, so you can't see that. and Shooter is a big presence on Twitter. He's got a big Twitter
Nice.
following, and he's helping out with the show in the early going here as well. And he's saying
Awesome.
he agrees with you. He's expecting a blowout.
Yeah, you know, I was sort of just immediately, like I said, I'm not a super professional sharp studying all the analytics, but one of my go-to things is where's the public emotionally?
Yeah.
Meaning, I don't mind if I bet with the public,
Right.
but if it's based on an emotional response, one of the reasons why I really like the Eagles this weekend against Buffalo is because the emotional response behind Philadelphia now is like they're the worst team of all time. So an extra.
I'm very much the same way. That's a very situational way to look at things, and so I definitely like to get into the whole mentality part of it and on different levels as well. So yeah, no, I agree with that. So did you play any NBA tonight or anything? I guess there's
no
only
NBA
a couple of
tonight.
games.
Yeah, no NBA tonight, but I was on the Nuggets Blazers game, which I did cover on Wednesday Night Sports Picks, 1530 Productions, twitch.tv. Guys, check it out. Wednesday Night Sports Picks. That's the first plug, one of about 600 to go. So,
we need lots.
That's right. But no, I did have the Nuggets yesterday on the money line against the Portland Trailblazers. I mean, it's really, I'm not a big proponent of like, hey, we got to bet all the NBA games in October. Like,
right, no doubt.
It's October NBA, you know, it's really hard to definitely tell what team is good. I mean, not only do you not know how good the teams are, but it's kind of like a glorified preseason until Christmas, right? It's like a extra preseason in my mind. But that said, in my opinion, the Nuggets are either the best team in the West or the second best team in the West behind the Clippers. I think they're better than the Lakers. I know Damian Lillard, CJ McCollum are absolutely hot shooters, but I will bet against a team that relies on the three any day, just because,
so in the West, you think that Denver is the second? Yeah,
I got them ahead of the Lakers.
And you like Lakers?
I definitely think the Clippers are the best team in the West. Okay. But in my opinion, the Lakers, like, don't get me wrong, LeBron James is absolutely a freak of nature, the second best player of all time behind Michael Jordan. The second best player of all time, Anthony Davis, I've never really been sold on as that great. I mean, we haven't really seen many results. This will be the first year where, like, if it doesn't work this year, something's wrong. But they have no depth. I mean, I really like Avery Bradley, hence... I mean, that's not an Avery Bradley jersey, but he did used to rep the number 0 for the Celtics. But just not a lot of depth there, and the coaching. The coaching's another thing. Like, I mean, Frank Vogel's the coach, Jason Kidd. I mean, we all know LeBron loves to toss out a coach like that. I could just see this going, you know, them getting a playoff spot, but it being a little bit of a struggle along the way.
Like the Lakers,
whereas,
when they had Howard and Nash, and you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. It has potential, absolutely. Sort of, to be that same sort of dynamic where it just doesn't work out for whatever reason. But again, it could totally work out. I mean, you have those.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome.
I mean, some people. I mean, again, I'm not sold on him, but some people consider Anthony Davis to be top 5 player in the league. I mean, I think they asked GMs, like, who would you start with? And Anthony Davis got votes for, like, he is the one player I would start with. Yeah. Again, I don't get it, but, hey, if it works, I mean, I don't know. But honestly, like, if there's any team I'm really fading, it is the Lakers this season. And honestly, I am a Celtics fan, but I'm not, like, a diehard Celtics fan who just can't stand anything Lakers. Like, I'm not, you know.
Right.
Now, Cubs, we're not ever betting on the Cubs.
So but that's interesting because Boston plays again tomorrow night at home against the Raptors, and so I think that's like a -2.5 spread. What would your immediate thoughts about that one?
It's in the Garden, -2.5. I mean,
yeah,
I would be betting. I mean, again, I'm kind of staying away, especially from Celtics games, because I feel like I'm going to have to bet on the Celtics if I bet in the game.
Yeah, I'll let you know that I am leaning definitely Celtics myself. definitely.
Oh, that's good.
I think it's a great
Yeah.
situational play. Just Toronto struggling that whole first game against the Pelicans there. Went to overtime. And so they pushed it over the total, and I had the under in that one. And they covered by 1 bucket, of course. They covered.
They had
eight,
no
7.5.
business covering that
Yeah.
8-point spread, the 7.5-point spread. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I lost both of those, but I did recover. I had Detroit last night in that
There you
win
go.
over Indiana, and I had the over in the Miami Heat game.
And who'd they play?
Miami was playing Memphis, right?
The Grizzlies. I kind of don't remember.
See. Let me just double check that.
Kind of don't remember. Chronic Triggers in the chat said Nikola Jokic. I mean, he's one of my favorite players in the league. But yeah, like I was saying,
yeah, against the
Grizzlies. It's in my opinion, it's a little chalky. Although last I checked, the Lakers were the betting favorite to win it all. But I got the Clippers. I just think they're way too good. I think Kawhi Leonard is easily the best player in the NBA. And then in the West, yeah, I got the Nuggets as the second best team.
Interesting. Yeah. No, I think you'd even get them at like 20-1. The Nuggets.
Yeah, I had it on the show yesterday. Let me see if I can pull those up like relatively quickly to see what the latest odds were, at least as of yesterday.
So Shooter here on YouTube is saying the Nuggets looked good last night. They clearly wanted revenge against the Blazers from the playoffs last year. So that was a good, and that was a nice play on the Pistons. Yeah, last night. They were saying stay away from Blake Griffin. Well, of course we got Andre Drummond. Literally had a career game in that one. And so you know what? I'm on the.
What do you have? Like tonight. 3 assists.
Drummond.
Yeah. You said a career game. I mean, I know his like career high is 2 assists. So.
Oh yeah. Well, there you go. He had 3 assists.
Rather, field goal or free throws made. Did he hit like 2 free throws as opposed to his record of 1?
True, but I think it was like 35 points and 22 rebounds or something.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, he's Mr. He's one of those weird players that like statistically you think is like one of the. I mean, he's Mr. 2020. He's always getting 20 and 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really talking about if you bring up like best big men, you're not really talking about that. But also about last night, I mean, exactly what what's his name from YouTube said about the
Shooter.
revenge aspect. Yeah, Shooter. That's right, Shooter. Exactly what he said about the revenge aspect of the game. The Nuggets were out for blood. Who's this guy? Says William Byrne.
Who's this guy? Yeah, William Burns. This is one of our regular contributors here on Twitch, Mr. William Burns. This is
the world
Mr.
famous, yeah.
1530 Productions, Drew. And so you've watched him, William. You've watched his show before, I believe, and so that's who this is. And
in the flesh.
So you guys definitely have to check out 1530 Productions.
Guys, every Wednesday night we have
a link in the.
Yeah, I can post a link in
Sure.
there. Leader in all Wednesday night sports pick channels on Twitch. You know, that's a fact. That's a fact. Of all the channels on Twitch
That's true.
that do a sports pick 'em,
in the whole
I'm
entire
the
world.
number 1. I'm staying humble over here. It is what it is, but yeah.
No.
Yeah, hi William. How's it going?
Yeah, no, you got a great channel and really fun contest on Wednesday nights. And so I wanted to ask you about your anniversary contest
Absolutely.
there, because that was a big one. And I know that you personally did really well with your picks there. And so for your contest, you allow all of your before you show your picks so that people, if they want, they can follow along with your picks. And so I know that you did particularly well on that weekend. So did you have a winner on that weekend? And
yeah, we had it was somebody who'd never seen the show before, which I'm, it is what it is. But yeah, somebody who'd never seen the show before actually won the $1,000 contest on their very first time. What's funny is you mentioned that I do give out my picks, and while this does not happen all that often, in of course the biggest contest ever, if you had just copy and pasted my picks, which you're more than welcome to, I don't enter my own contest. Yeah. But if you had copy and pasted my picks, you'd be $1,000 richer. Yep.
Wow.
I went 12-3 every other week. I mean, every single week. It's only 10 picks in the contest. It's normally for a $100 Amazon gift card, but for the big 1-year anniversary show, which happened at the beginning of this month, we had to go 15 picks, $1,000 contest, and yeah, I did pretty well.
Mm-hmm. And
I do say so myself.
Sometimes you throw in some crazy ones, but this one was all strictly football that weekend. And,
yeah. Normally I'll throw in something to quote unquote troll the chat a little bit. This week MLS playoff soccer, always, not a whole lot of sharps on MLS playoff soccer, at least checking out my show.
Right.
So I like to, troll the chat a little bit in the pick'em. It's more of a, in my opinion, Wednesday night sports picks. I like to focus on it being entertaining first.
It is really entertaining. You have many different bits going on, and I've only watched it a few times, honestly, and so I only saw the computer bit the one time. Mm-hmm. Your computer prediction,
of course.
He's great.
Of course,
What's his name again?
My algorithm. The algorithm. I have a, guys, if you don't know, I have a, you can go pay for some algorithm online somewhere that will pump out numbers about who to bet on. Well, we have our own 1530 algorithm. The problem, unfortunately, is that the algorithm has gone rogue and also is terrible at picking sports. As I say that, I will say he did get one right, but before that he was on an 0-5 streak. And he generally picks, instead of using statistics and analytics like most computer algorithms, my sports gambling algorithm generally picks based on movies. Like a couple of weeks ago, he picked the Eagles because he likes the movie Silver Linings Playbook.
Right.
We have our bit. We have some fun on that show. But by the way, kickoff. I don't know if you noticed.
Yes,
we are officially kicked off.
All right, so Williams on the skins. Chronic Triggers is saying Alcoholic Dave was the one who won it. And you tried to post the link there, and I guess that I have it, so you are unable to.
No worries, guys. I mean, it's just that channel, 1530 Productions.
Yeah.
Twitch.tv/1530 Productions. Every Wednesday night. I'm on Twitch almost every day. A lot of times I'll be on my other channel, SkeeZXDT, which is more just like regular gaming. Typical stuff for Twitch. But on 1530, I'm live every Wednesday night and then every Sunday morning talking about fantasy football stuff.
That's right, and I've watched a bit of that as well. So Shooter's asking here over on YouTube, what about your opinion on the Clippers-Warriors game tonight? And for me, I guess I don't have an official wager on that one, but I kind of like the Warriors.
Let me pull up some odds here. I mean, again, like, I'm not the strongest plays on any NBA game pre-Christmas time, but, I gotta look at the line here. Let me see.
I think, let me see here.
Against tonight, right?
So the Warriors are getting +1.
Oh God, Warriors at home. I mean, as much as I really like Kawhi Leonard and the Clippers this year, I'm not a big D'Angelo Russell guy. I'm not a big shooting first point guard player, and that's not Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry, he can shoot the ball, but Steph Curry's more of a natural point guard. I think I don't. It's going to be hard for me to bet against the Warriors on the opening night of their... Wait, this is the first year of their new stadium, right? Or was last year?
Yeah, this is it. This is the opening night of the new arena.
Yeah, opening night of the new arena. Yeah. I mean, Clay's not playing. Yeah, D'Angelo Russell's 100%. I mean, I'm not a big D'Angelo Russell guy, but if there's any year where he needs to succeed, it's this one. I mean, he's got a lot to show, making up for Klay Thompson,
For sure. No, so Shooter's agreeing. He likes the Warriors to open up with their new arena with the victory as well.
Yeah. By the way, like I was gonna say, even though I was, I really like the Nuggets, especially as an underdog anywhere. But that's not to say I dislike the Blazers, especially at the beginning of next year when they get Yusuf Nurkic back. just because the Trailblazers, again, they're one of those teams that play not only on the West Coast, but they're playing in like Oregon. They're rarely ever on TV.
Fumble.
In my opinion, Damian Lillard is the second best point guard in the West. Is that fair to say?
I would agree. Yeah, he's
above,
amazing. I mean, without it's I mean, he has to be considered
by the way,
an MVP.
I don't know.
I mean, you take him off of the Blazers, and are they going to be competitive?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
So he has to be
I
considered
mean,
an MVP. Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And like I said, he never gets the coverage. I think he finally started to get some love last year during the playoffs, just because that's when they actually are on TV, and people were like, "Oh my God, Damian Lillard is shooting 40-foot three-pointers." But
yeah.
Also, I don't know if you saw it, but Stephon Diggs, gigantic catch to start the game and a fumble.
Yes, we were just saying that, the big fumble there, and so there we go. This the over that I have on my teaser isn't looking good, but my Washington part of the teaser is looking great.
You're going teasing?
Yeah, I that was like on these games, like you said, like what are you supposed to do on these standalone games where they're kind of, it's so difficult that the teams are to get a read on them and stuff, and so on games like that, I sometimes do suggest making a play with a teaser, and so I've suggested a play adding 7 points to the Redskins to go to 24, and then I have the over 35. So 24 and 35. Yeah.
But I mean, that's again, like my thoughts are, it's like all teasers, right? Whenever I hear any teaser, it could be anything, and I'm like, that's pretty good, that sounds like it's accurate. But I try to stay away from teasers myself, specifically for that reason, where I'm like, of course, getting 24 points, duh, like, that kind of thing. But
yeah. So here on the college football field, Shooter is just telling us, giving us an update there on YouTube that they have Houston has tied it up, so it's now 7-7. That one early in the second quarter, and Shooter says that he's also on Houston, and that's at like plus 13.5, even plus 14, probably some might have gotten. Looking quickly at the NHL, the Rangers are now leading 4-1. San Jose is up 3-1. The Islanders have a 2-1 lead, and Carolina up 3-2 on Columbus.
What about that Blues Kings game? I mean, everybody, you got to pay respects to the Stanley Cup champions.
Yeah. It's been a St. Louis. Their goals against has been, a lot bigger than it has been in the years past here in the early going, but I'm sure the numbers are just skewed over the short time frame or whatever, and a little bit of a hangover perhaps for Binnington. But
I was gonna say I'm not positive that they're finished being drunk. Like I feel like they still got a little bit of, like, they're still kind of sipping from the cup a little bit. Like, guys, we don't want this good time to end. So I'm not too worried about them. I mean, again, it's kind of like the NBA a little bit, not nearly as much in hockey. Like hockey, they're going out to play every time, but pre the new year, I don't know. I can't get like a super strong opinion about any team, right? Especially last year. I mean, look at the Blues last year, dead last in January. So let's see what's behind the curtain. Wizard of Oz mirrors. JK, it is the Wizard of Oz behind me, behind this very wrinkly curtain. It's the guy who controls my motor functions. If you guys don't know, I am a sports gambling robot. I feel like that wasn't mentioned at the top. But yeah, it's a guy back there pulling levers and stuff, controlling every one of my actions.
So Drew was saying he's actually in the middle of moving, and that's what's going on. But
it's also, yeah, I stream with a green screen, so like I rarely do stream with my my room, and yeah, this is a mirror right here, so it would be like the screen, the mirror showing this screen, and it would be, too big of a trick.
Green screen background and all of that. Yeah, it looks great.
That's right. It's the algorithm mother brain back there. Yeah, it's the Mother brain.
So yeah, what's going on with the rest of this here? Yeah, good for Houston there, tying that up. And Atlanta, Detroit. Detroit winning is taking the lead again here. Oh, here comes a flag on the field here in the NFL game.
Where are your thoughts on Terry McLaurin?
Where
like rest of season. Meaning, if he has good matchups, you're obviously comfortable starting him. But like this game, I mean, Xavier Rhodes really hasn't been as good as he normally has been. But I chose not to start Terry McLaurin in one of my leagues just because the matchup and the Thursday night factor.
Right. So he was a third-round draft pick from Ohio State, correct?
Correct. Yeah. He played a lot of outside receiver, and they kind of just had him doing go routes at Ohio State, like over and over and over. Yeah. And I kind of think that hurt his draft stock because he wasn't running routes at all when he was at Ohio State. So there wasn't a lot of footage out there of like, hey, can this guy actually run an NFL style route?
And but so yeah, Drew does you come on it just an hour before kickoff on Sundays, correct? To talk fantasy.
Yeah, 1 hour before kickoff, except when they have like that random London game at 9 a.m. or whatever it is. But yeah, 1 hour before kickoff.
Yeah. So I do know some big DFS players, and so that's not my specialty. Yeah, if you guys are interested in that, in DFS and in fantasy, it's blowing up. There are other smaller fantasy football channels on here, other ones. I'm sure you followed them and know more about them than I do. But yeah, I've found the information that you've given great, and here's another turnover. Another big turnover. There you go.
Oh yeah, there it is. There it is. You're like 10 seconds ahead of me, but no worries. No worries. I'm very used to it. Talking with my friends, I'll be on Discord a lot of times every Sunday as we, are watching and paying attention to our fantasy teams. And you'll hear like, "Oh my god!" And you're like, "Wait, who? Who is it? Which game?"
Yeah. So Chronic is saying in the Twitch chat here, he thinks that he's a solid wide receiver, but he's not starting him this week.
The benefits of being a fantasy badass. Yeah, that's another thing to tell people. Just like Wednesday Night Sports Picks, I mean, my fantasy show is not like, I am not a DFS professional by any means. If anything, I'm actually bad at DFS. When I've played it, I used to play a lot. It's super difficult. I mean,
it's like
I used to play a lot until I started doing.
Each separate player is like an individual bet. You know what I mean? It's like a massive parlay that you got to win, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, and if we're talking about like a GPP play, which is like the tournament play, in my opinion, that's just like hitting the lottery. Because like, are you really, gonna know that Chase Edmonds was gonna come into the game for David Johnson last week and score 3 touchdowns? Because like that was obviously the DFS play. Are you gonna know that Marvin Jones is gonna score 4 touchdowns? Like, I don't know. But that said, we always just try. I mean, like I said, I try to keep it entertainment first. I love sports. I love fantasy football. I love sports gambling. But yeah, guys, if you're just into, hey, I'll definitely give you advice. I'll definitely tell you who I would start in that situation. But we try to have a couple of fun bits, like
no, that's what it's all about too. You can't, this is a serious thing, but you got to have fun with it as well. And so I definitely love your approach, and that's kind of what we're trying to do here as well. Absolutely.
Yeah. DFS is super hard. I agree. Yeah, I agree. If I do play DFS, I like playing cash game, which is just you versus another opponent. But the problem is they're taking like such a strong take from that. They're taking, I think, $1 out of every $5 from you or something like that. If you want to play cash game, which I don't know. Yeah. Yeah, hard to beat that rake. Exactly.
Well, so far this game has been pretty awkward here.
Yeah. I mean, isn't that the case with a lot of Thursday night games though? Like
It is
short week.
It's felt like that on the Monday, Thursday night games. Just not the greatest matchups, and for whatever reason, yeah. Even the opener, it was Chicago and Green Bay, I think, and it was a really super low scoring opener there on that Thursday night game.
It was like one of the worst football games I think I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was brutal. Green Bay, of course, has since gone on. The defense is not quite as good as it was at the beginning of the year, but still, they're looking quite great.
I mean, by Green Bay's normal standards, it's great.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Drew, we have, this is like, we've got interaction here going on all platforms.
Yeah, guys, I'm only watching the Twitch chat right now, but yeah, if you want to help me out by let me know what the other people are saying, yeah, go ahead.
Right. Well, nothing too pressing at the moment, but
not worse than Pats Jets on Monday night.
Yeah,
that game was a little rough. But if we're once again talking about a philosophy that we like, something I covered yesterday on the show, not only do I like the Eagles this week, but I also like the Jets this week. I think 6 points, at least that's what the spread was yesterday. 6 points is way too many points for the Jags to give.
So each guest that we come on, we ask them for one big blowout, on one college football blowout and one Sunday football blowout. And Drew, I'm going to ask you if you could just help me out here for 5 minutes while I quickly go to the washroom. I'm going to
absolutely.
I'm going to switch the screen over to full screen here for you.
Oh boy. Luckily, I am so great at talking by myself. Just talking to myself, I am an excellent at that.
Okay, just give me 2 seconds here. Here we go. Okay.
So you want me to cover? You want me to cover your who I like by blowout this week in college and NFL?
Exactly. One in college, one in the NFL. Major blowout. Yeah.
I mean, I do like the Patriots by blowout, but I'm not going to count that because that's too easy, right? That's way to do Patriots by blowout. I mean, that's no fun, everybody, right? To choose the Patriots, a team that blows out just about everybody, that's like picking chalk. And if you know anything about me, it's that I kind of hate picking chalk, okay? It's dusty. It gets all over your hands. I can't stand it. While we're talking about NFL, like I said, Patriots would probably be my answer. But another team that I covered last night that I actually really like this weekend is the San Francisco 49ers against a good Carolina Panthers team. I know the Panthers are scary. I know Kyle Allen is absolutely tearing it up for them. They got Christian McCaffrey. They're scary. They're a scary 4-2 team that seemingly came out of nowhere, came out of being dead at 0-2, now 4-2. They went on the road a couple of weeks ago and beat a good Houston Texans team. However, I really like the 49ers in that game. It's all about the running attack with the 49ers. It's all about that like old school style leather helmet football style of 49ers. And they have such a good run game. And if you look at the Carolina Panthers defense, it's been getting a lot of praise this season, but it's been getting praise on their ability to stop the pass. Their two strong suits on defense are the ability to cover people in secondary and their pass rush. They're getting to the quarterback. I don't know where they're ranked in sacks this year, but they're definitely sacking the quarterback at a high rate.
Okay.
However, their running defense is definitely not the same as it should be. I don't know. For their top tier defense, their running defense isn't that great, which is why I think, and it is the marquee game of the week, I don't think it's going to be that close. I think the 49ers absolutely maybe not blow them out, but I think the 49ers cover 5.5. And then real quick, if we do want to talk about college, I guess my one blowout that I can think of right now would be LSU Auburn. I mean, it's a 10.5 point spread. I think Wisconsin's going to give Ohio State a little bit of a fight. First one comes to mind would be LSU blowing out Auburn. Bo Nix kind of showed his true colors on the road 2 weeks ago when he played Florida.
And LSU. Home, right?
Yeah. I mean, it would be completely different if it was at Auburn, but no, it's in Death Valley.
Mm-hmm.
Coach O, for my money, is easily top 3 coach in college football behind Saban and Dabo.
It'll be crazy there, obviously.
Who?
it'll be just crazy there.
Oh yeah.
And is it a night game?
It's actually a day. I think it's a 2:30 game actually.
Okay.
2:30 Central Time.
And so it's LSU, and then I caught the tail end. You were talking about the 49ers blowing out.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that, I mean, if I'm really choosing a blowout of the week, it's got to be the Patriots, but that's way too chalky, and I don't
Right.
like my hands being dusty. So I'll take the 49ers in my blowout of the week. I think they're going to cover 5.5, definitely. So might as well blow them out at the same time.
Okay, wow. And so you don't give Cleveland any chance this weekend. And so who was it that guaranteed a win?
No.
Who was it that guaranteed a win for Cleveland? Not even close.
Somebody that has a couple of concussions recently? I don't know.
No, I saw that earlier today.
Yeah, I don't know if one of the players for Cleveland, one of the coaches, guaranteed a win.
It was a player, yeah, one of the players there. Probably Google that quickly here. Anyways, it doesn't matter.
Well, luckily for him, the Patriots hate bulletin board material. So
that's true. They use that as motivation, don't they?
Oh yeah, 100%, 100%. But it honestly, that game comes down to.
It's 13.
I think Freddie. I don't know how Freddie Kitchens has a job. I don't know. I'm sure he's talented at whatever he does, but I can look at him and be like, well, that's not a head coach, you know. And I think coaching has a lot to do with teams either coming out really good after a bye week or coming out really flat after a bye week. The Browns, in my opinion, scream coming out super flat after a bye week, whereas the Patriots, I mean, they just take care of business. So, no, I do not give them much of a chance this weekend. And clip that, as the Browns will beat the Patriots this weekend.
So my brother is a huge Cleveland Browns fan. He has been his entire life. He actually named one of his dogs. He got a chocolate lab. He named it Cleveland.
Praying for him. I mean, I'm a former St. Louis Rams fan, so I'm well aware of the woes of rooting for a losing football team.
And so he has a friend, a really good friend, who's a diehard Bills fan. Just huge Bills fan. And so in next month, there's a game in Cleveland. It's Buffalo in Cleveland. They're both going to that game. They're calling it the Toilet Bowl, and they're heading to that one together to see that.
I mean, the Toilet Bowl, wasn't that with the Redskins-Dolphins game 2 weeks ago?
True enough, no doubt. And, well, that's when the Redskins got their first one of the season.
Yeah.
And then they played the 49ers tough here. And look at their defense is doing another decent job here in the early going here with the Vikings. The Vikings offense have been clicking up to this point. And so what's happening here is Minnesota, yeah, they're getting caught looking ahead.
I really don't know. I just think that, I mean, I don't think they're caught looking ahead necessarily. I just think it's too early in the game. I mean, you're gonna have your best defensive schemes going on in the first quarter with a brand new head coach. In my opinion, it's not even gonna come close to the second half adjustments. Obviously, Mike Zimmer is a great coach, in my opinion. Yeah. Bill Callahan did go to a Super Bowl with somebody else's team. What's up, Kitty? Did go to a Super Bowl with somebody else's team, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that the Vikings, again, I was fading the opinion, but what if it's true that Kirk Cousins just, I don't know if he needs a night light or what, but he just can't play at night.
So that
wasn't his fault though.
He's just struggled in all night games, Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, the Andy Dalton syndrome.
Wow.
The Andy Dalton syndrome. But yeah, I don't know. Still early in the game though. Still early. I mean, it wasn't his fault that Stephon Diggs dropped or fumbled that ball as he was going across the middle. So.
What about that Arizona and New Orleans matchup? That's a pretty interesting one, don't you think?
It's interesting just because, like, every time I want to start fading the Saints, they just cover the spread. All they do is cover the spread. I mean,
Arizona
like Teddy Bridgewater is doing so
are
well.
Two of the biggest highest covering spread teams so far in the early going, and so it's difficult to know really. And Arizona's just been playing great. One has to wonder, can Teddy Bridgewater keep this going? I've heard trade rumors that the Chicago, that's who they should be going after, Teddy Bridgewater, and not Cam Newton.
It makes, oh God, no, definitely not. I would 1,000% sign off on Bridgewater before Newton.
Right. You're not a big fan of Newton.
No. I mean, like, I like Cam Newton, but nah, I'm not like.
He's a great college player, obviously.
Oh, one of the greatest seasons by a college player you will ever see.
But it just doesn't, literally, in the NFL, just doesn't fit, sort of, or what? I mean, before he got more injured last year, he was putting up the best numbers of his career. You know,
it's the same thing I worry about. It's the same thing I worry about Josh Allen. You can have stretches of looking like the greatest quarterback of all time, but then you can also have stretches of making 40% of your passes and getting injured because you run the ball all the time.
So Chronic is saying Cam Newton needs to pull a luck and retire. New Orleans.
I mean, I don't know his money situation. I don't know, like, if obviously NFL players can be really dumb or smart with their money, but if he doesn't need the money, I think that he's got nothing left to prove. I mean, he made a Super Bowl with the Panthers. It's not like he had a bad career. Like, he had a really good career, but I mean, if I'm a Panthers fan, I don't want to see Cam Newton at all until Kyle Allen maybe loses like 3 in a row.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why change what's not broken, right?
Yeah. No, agreed. So, actually, talking about horrible games, have you seen what the Monday Nighter is?
I know it's the Dolphins. It's Steelers Dolphins.
Yeah, Miami at Pittsburgh. Yeah.
The thing about Pittsburgh, I mean, well, here's the thing about the Dolphins, right? And here's the thing about that line, and it's obviously a stay away from me. I mean, garbage games like that, it's hard to bet on. But the two things are, I think that the Dolphins, people have now come back around on and seeing, oh my God, the Dolphins, they covered easy in the past 2 weeks. Meanwhile, I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are the best 2-5 team, whatever they are. I think they're easily the best 2-5 team. I think they're way better than what their record shows for.
So
if I had to take it, I don't know what the line is.
Chronic is saying Steelers are coming off a bye.
Steelers off a bye, going to be a hot mess, meaning, I'm assuming you mean going to be a hot mess for the Dolphins. And yeah, just because they're coming off bye doesn't mean that the team's going to win. And if anything, since the collective bargaining agreement, it's actually been the opposite. The teams, since the CBA, have come out flat and have not covered the spread. I'm not like always into trends, but I more play it as coaching. Bill Belichick comes off a bye, I'm trusting the Patriots are going to play well.
So, Drew, I had a few stats here that I had written down.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few trends that I wanted to run by you.
Also, if you didn't know, my roommate's cat heard us talking about the Carolina Panthers, so he decided that he wants to join in because he is a Panther.
Well, hey, we're animal lovers here for sure.
Hey,
cats are cool, man.
No meows. No
I used
meows.
to have a cat called Smoke Dog.
There you go. This is Onion.
Okay.
Again, I'm moving. I'm only living with him for literally one more day. I've lived with this cat for 5 years. Yeah, living with him for one more day, so you get to see the final night right here. Yep.
Hilarious.
It's a special moment. Yeah.
So yeah, I wanted to talk about lopsided trends and numbers, and these are lopsided trends and numbers, and this is coming from Covers Experts. So road teams this year in the NFL are 65, 39, and 2 against the spread. Home teams are 39, 65, and 2 against the spread. And so I guess these are all going to be exactly the opposite here. Actually, that's not exactly correct. But favorites are 43, 61, and 2 against the spread. Underdogs are 61, 43, and 2 against the spread. Now, home faves, they're 23, 45, and 2 against the spread. and home dogs are 16 and 20 against the spread. Road faves are 20 and 16 against the spread, and road dogs are 45, 23 and 2 against the spread. And so far, the collective over-under is 49 and 57.
I mean, from the only reason why I don't think there's too much to look into that is because a lot of those numbers being lopsided, mainly road teams underdogs and road underdogs was kind of the lopsided numbers there.
Yeah.
A lot of those came from the first 3 weeks of the season. I mean, first 3 weeks of the season, I want to say I had it somewhere on one of the Wednesday night sports picks a couple of weeks ago. The stats showing the, against the spreads, and it was like 70 some %. Those have come back down to normal, but I think it's just a case of, the league has got a lot of parity to it this year. A lot of the teams are super similar. And like I was saying, with the Eagles, once again, a lot of people think a team is whatever they looked like last week.
Yeah.
Whereas I think
agree.
that in the NFL, the teams are much closer.
Yeah. And so Chronic here, he's saying he meant more just betting wise, trying to peg what's going to happen. He feels more comfortable seeing how both teams were streaking before touching it.
Yeah.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. The thing about the Steelers is I do like the Steelers as a bet in this season, just because I think that they're a more talented team than what people have seen. Especially coming off a bye like I said, again, I play bye weeks as who are their coach. I think Mike Tomlin, some people would disagree, but I think Mike Tomlin's a great coach. I think that whoever the offensive coordinator there is going to pull Duck Hodges or whatever the quarterback's name is and say, hey, here is the entire playbook for at least the first half of the game. And
there's
I think
a big foul here, penalty. It's going to be on the 1 yard line for Washington. So here we go. And that's going to force Minnesota definitely to start putting the foot on the gas here. But look at this Washington defense after going right to the wire with San Francisco, who had really been on a surge up until then, offensive surge. And so now look at this, and same with Minnesota. And so I just still, who knows? These teams look past these teams or something. It's hard to imagine.
Yeah, it literally might be a case of with the Redskins, like, hey, the team didn't want to play for Jay Gruden anymore. Jay Gruden was checked out, meaning they checked out. Honestly, maybe the players just like, you know what, we're really trying to tear him up. Also, I haven't seen it yet. Oh, you know what? I was wrong. I was just about to say, is there anybody that doesn't think this ball is going to Adrian Peterson right now?
Jeez, it was almost an interception there.
The only thing I feel secure in is starting James Conner with that quad injury after the bye. I mean, yeah, James Conner is just one of those running.
Smoo is starting to run away in that game. They just got another touchdown. It's 21-7 in that one. But good news for Atlanta. They're up 10 in the fourth quarter against the Pistons.
Atlanta's one of those teams that are going to be like it's finally when tanking pays off, right? Where you're like, oh my God, look at all the young talent around here. Like, good God, Atlanta seems like they're in a good spot.
Yeah, I'm amazed by how good Trae Young is. Like, he really pushed Luka to the max there when that rookie MVP last year. How about Dallas last night? They won.
And yeah, I'm honestly, you said Trae. I'm surprised by Trae Young as well, as I was Mr. in college fade Trae Young, just because when it comes to basketball, especially in college, if a team has a super streaky on fire shooter, I'm generally betting against that team and just sucking it up. And if he gets on fire, so be it. If he drains, a bunch of threes, so be it. But Trae Young in college was one of those. Basically, if you got a point guard that takes a lot of dumb shots and tries to heat check, I'm going to fade him, a.k.a. Trae Young.
I wasn't convinced about him in college either. But he he's convinced me after that season last year in the NBA. I mean,
Agreed.
He's not a big man, you know what I mean? But he's just, yeah, that was an amazing rookie season. Unbelievable.
He's been channeling his inner Steph Curry tonight. No, yeah, 100%. Yeah. So like I was saying, that's what I thought of him in college, but I was definitely wrong about him. I thought he was going to fade out. And yeah, like you said, not big enough, but yeah.
So
that rain killed my Kittle start.
Dan there, he's our second half guest there, Drew.
Nice.
Yeah.
Welcome, Dan. Nice to meet you. Unofficially through Twitch, but it's still a good meeting.
Yes. It's a connection of some sort. And that's what it's all about, connecting here on all the different platforms. Yeah, unfortunately there, we need Houston to come back and score. Washington did get the field goal there. And so I'm wondering where Dan... So that's part of our thing here. Dan... he gives us a second half pick in our Discord for the NFL game. And so I'm just sort of, if it was me, I'm looking at this game and it's 3-3, and if it stays low scoring, obviously I'm going to lean towards the over in the second half. Do you have any... Do you ever think of the second half bets
I would immediately be thinking Vikings in the second half. Just because I think this 3-3 is kind of a facade of a 3-3 game. I mean, I don't know what the time of possession stats are. You do have the CBS thing right there, if you can look and if it shows time of possession. But I would imagine that the Redskins had the ball for the first 10 minutes or 10 of the 15 minutes of the game. Because of that fumble.
That kind of.
Yeah. Yeah, so I expect that to come back down to normal. As of right now, if we're talking, obviously this second quarter is going to, be a big difference. But I just be thinking about the Vikings just because the Vikings haven't really had the ball to score. They had that one fumble where they were, Stephon Diggs had that huge play. But, yeah. But also, yeah, I mean, I would definitely be considering the over. I don't know what the over-under is gonna be, but, yeah.
Yeah, no, exactly. The over as well. We'll see what Dan comes with. He chose the under on Monday night. And so that was his first wager, and that did come
now, when you say the under, do you choose like under 6 interceptions for Sam Darnold? Because that did hit. That was a legitimate bet. Yeah. It was even money. 6 interceptions for Sam Darnold.
Wow. Unbelievable. But I mean, I was talking about that the other night. What if you switch the two? If you switch Sam Darnold and you switch Brady on the teams, what's going to happen? The Jets are they going to be awesome? Are the Patriots going to be horrible?
I definitely think it's a much closer game. I don't know. That's a great question actually, because that is the ultimate it's always the question of is it Belichick or is it Brady? Is it Belichick or is it Brady? Which one would you rather have?
I guess.
And I never really thought about. I always thought Belichick, but when you put it like that, the problem with Sam Darnold is people are going to look and say, well, oh, Sam Darnold's terrible. But Sam Darnold is the same type of quarterback that Brett Favre was, meaning he's a gunslinger quarterback who's not afraid to throw an interception. And I don't mind quarterbacks throwing interceptions.
Exactly. Yeah.
So the numbers look skewed in that, oh my God, Sam Darnold, he had 4 interceptions. He's terrible. But the thing is, would you rather have Sam Darnold throwing interceptions, or would you rather have Mitch Trubisky putting up statistically good numbers, but looking putrid on offense?
Yeah, exactly. And no, that's a good call. Yeah, he's exactly like that. And so perhaps if he had a few more skilled players around him, he had the offensive line that Brady had. I mean, Darnold has definitely shown promise. It's just, the bottom half of the league on the skill positions along the line, different things. How can anyone match up against the Patriots' juggernaut? And so you've touched on this before in some of your other shows, as far as even still to this point, the Patriots have not been completely challenged yet. That defense, they have historic numbers to this point. Just unbelievable. They're averaging
Other
like
than
4
week
sacks a
one.
game or something.
Yeah, other than week one when they played the Steelers, which is like a throwaway kind of week one. I mean, the teams are new. They haven't played any offense since then.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, have we looked at their schedule the rest of the way? I can do that.
Yeah, they do have some resistance coming up here in the middle of their season, and then they kind of close off easy again.
Mm-hmm.
But let me look here because
Yeah,
I did look it up.
pull that up as well.
Yeah, I did notice that like this week I would consider is the Browns have a legitimate offense, but not like an amazing offense. But yeah, after this, they have the Ravens. Then they have they go the Ravens, then a bye,
yeah,
then at the Eagles, then the Cowboys at home, then at the Texans, then the Chiefs.
So
I mean,
harder.
honestly, their next 5 games are like kind of brutal, actually.
But then it just peters off again. Right?
I honestly could see them losing 3 games in the next 5. And obviously still being amazing, like still being the Patriots. They probably won't. They'll probably lose 2 at most, but as much as I really like the Texans, Bill Belichick usually owns Bill O'Brien, so probably not there. But I mean,
on a bit of a tangent, so they have to go to Baltimore, and that's going to be a tough game, and that's the one you're thinking about because it's sort of a trap because they're looking ahead to their bye, and then there's the Philly game, Dallas and Houston and KC, so it's a killer lineup there, and so they're already 7-0 straight up, 5-2 against the spread. Interesting though, yeah, the under.
But here's the problem. Here's the problem with the Ravens, though. The problem with the Ravens and their upcoming schedule is, I want to see whatever the Ravens or what the Ravens do. Oh God, they're on bye, aren't they? Shit.
But Lamar
I want to
Jackson,
see.
I just saw an amazing stat. How many? He has more yards than so many. Huge gainer here, by the way. I think that's Stephon Diggs. Yeah.
Let's see here.
So Baltimore,
yeah,
it's coming out of their bye.
Kind of the same play as the first one. But yeah, I want to see what these teams do the week before. Because, like, as much as we are talking about, like, oh, the Patriots haven't played anybody, there's value, I think that enough people are also going to realize that and try to be... People want to be on the... They want to bet against the Patriots when they finally lose. That way they can say, I knew it. I knew the Patriots were overrated.
Yes.
So, honestly, there might be value in those games thinking of how many people, they just want to have that game where they knew the Patriots were going to lose, right?
Yeah.
So if the Ravens look super good, I mean, they did last week beating Seattle. They're coming off a bye. I'm assuming the Patriots beat the Browns. If the Patriots beat the Browns, you might be thinking the Ravens are a good team, but everybody else is thinking that too. So they're going to be like, you know what? This is the week the Patriots finally go down. I don't know. Just a little insight to how my crazy brain works. Like,
I agree. No, I try to do all of those same things, get into the heads of the situation, the whole mentality of the thing, and look at it from that viewpoint. And so the Vikings,
most of the time it's just a tumbleweed going through here.
Okay.
But occasionally,
right.
Yeah.
Yes, there's a few nuggets of incredible wisdom that come out.
Just a couple.
Yes. So yeah, we're what is
10 minutes ago. I mean, like I said, this is kind of what I've been expecting from the Vikings offense when they just haven't had the ball to show it, right?
Right. That's right. And so a couple of mistakes, and now they're finally starting to feel it a little bit here, and it's starting to click. And so let's see what happens here. There's still, 8 minutes left in this second quarter. 9 minutes. Oh.
Now, do you think Kirk Cousins is putting a pressure on himself? Because he obviously, I'm sure he got asked by the media this week. He's got to know, like, hey, people think you suck in primetime as he takes his sack. I'm just now seeing that.
And plus against his former team that cut him and all the rest. This is so, all that.
My brain literally, when I'm thinking Kirk Cousins is in this game, and then I number 8 for the Redskins, I'm like, wait a second, is Kirk back on the Redskins? I'm like, oh no, that's Case Keenum. All right.
Yeah, Exactly. They're so similar, really, it seems. Well,
Couple more zeros on the end of Kirk's check, but yeah, pretty
right.
similar.
So what's going on in some of the other things here? Yeah, Houston actually, in the college, he's on the doorstep. They're in the red zone anyways. So Detroit is...
Something I always like to ask.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
And so I just wanted to, Detroit is fighting back. It's 88-97 now, so 97-88 for Atlanta. So sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, just asking your opinion, one of my favorite things to bet on is a money line underdog. And I didn't know if you had any college football games you like this weekend, maybe an NFL game where you like a money line underdog this weekend.
Right. Yeah, no, I would agree with you. I know people that give out money line picks on against the spread sports in the NFL and in the NBA. And so lots of these guys will give it out on the favorites, laying minus 180 on on a 3.5 point spread or whatever. And so I
don't know if you can tell my face, or you can see my face, but I'm heavily shaking my head. I hate when people give out picks, right. And it's like,
yeah. And so the logic behind that, in just that, if you think that if you're laying minus 180 for a team to win by 1 point, essentially that's what you're saying. You think the team will win by 1 point. Well, why not lay 110, minus 110, and take the 3.5 points in that situation? And so, yeah, money line, it just doesn't make sense to me to bet against the spread sports unless it's the underdog. And so, yeah, a big underdog this weekend that I would take, I guess, that Kansas City line has come down significantly. It opened actually at 5.5. And so,
Matt Moore's a legitimate quarterback. City. He's been in the league for quite some time. Again, Andy Reid is a great coach. He's going to know how to, I think he knows Matt Moore's limitations. So,
yeah, there's upset potential there just because of the struggles Kansas City has had recently. But what about the Chargers at Chicago?
William is saying UCLA's beating Arizona State. Is that for real? If you don't know, I went to Arizona State, so that makes me sad.
Did you?
Poor Herm.
I did not know that. Herm sort of turned it around there, though, wouldn't you say?
Oh, 100%. I'm ecstatic with Herm Edwards as coach. As an Arizona State fan, I hated Dennis Erickson. I hated Todd Graham, but I love me some Herm Edwards.
Yeah, there's
I like what he's got going now.
But he has done exceptionally well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But moneyline underdogs. It's funny that you're saying people give out the UFC. I'm a gigantic MMA fan, and I used to be real sharp on MMA, and I'm just not anymore. They've gotten extremely good. The bookmakers have caught up a little bit. But back in the day, I used to be so sharp on MMA. Not the case anymore. But the UFC, the UFC about 6 months ago decided, we need to get into the gambling game. And on their whatever Fight Pass service or YouTube, whatever one of them, they had like their professional gambler. And I was like, I'll check out whatever it is. And it was some former professional in Vegas who I guess knows MMA. And I was like, yeah, I'll give him a chance. And he had the gall to, on this brand new show, give out a minus 600 favorite.
Wow.
Which is like, what? Like, you want to be like, in my opinion, that's such a. I guess it's easier for me because I do focus on entertainment, but
just lay $600. Yeah.
I'd rather be wrong. I'd rather give out a wrong pick than give out a right minus 600 pick.
No, that's horrible. Yeah. So William is saying that Mahomes, I don't know if you know that, he's not been ruled out yet for Sunday Night Football.
He's out.
He's out?
He's out, for sure.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not reporting that, but I would be shocked if he played that game. But
So I was
know,
asked
maybe.
on Monday for my 2 blowouts for this coming week, and for college football, I'm taking. I believe I took Cal.
But yeah, by the way, he was limited in practice. That shocks me. Why they would even mess around playing him doesn't make sense to me. Just doesn't make sense. I think they can afford in a weak AFC. I think they can afford to. I mean, you're not even guaranteeing you're going to lose 2-3 games, but even if they did, I think they can afford to and still make the playoffs, still win the AFC West, and be fine. So, bold strategy. So dumb. Protect your investment. Agree, Chronic.
Yeah, here we go. Drew, you've been just fantastic. We have about another 15 or so minutes left here with this 6 minutes left in the second quarter.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I'm glad I was able to do this.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate this, and I'm ready to help you out if you ever want to do something similar. I don't know if I completely fit your format. Anyway,
I mean, my format would be, I would absolutely love to have you on, potentially even next week.
Right.
It's a little bit more of like maybe like a 5 to 10 minute phone call as opposed to like kind of a chill session. Just because, if you all don't know, my show, it's like ultimately like me yelling 1,000,000 miles per hour in the camera. So.
Right. No, it's really fun though. Your show is fantastic, and I urge everyone who's watching to go check out Drew and 1530 Productions. So
every single Wednesday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central.
Right. Oh, Washington's trying to do something here. So who's winning the contest in the first month? Well, the contest is Chronics to lose in this first month. And so I got to talk to you guys about that, because I just was thinking each month it has to be, the slate has to sort of be wiped clean as far as chips. Because Chronic or whoever could have unlimited, have an unlimited advantage over everyone else moving forward. And so, that's the way it's going to be.
It's kind of like playing at a 1-2 poker table with $2,000 and just never getting up.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. So each month the slate's wiped clean. Yeah, and there you go. But yeah, Jazz is sponsoring us now. Jazz Sportsbook. And so we gotta
Jazz, you're awesome. You're awesome, Jazz.
We gotta start to bring some traffic their way, and I've told them that we're just in the beginning stages of getting this whole thing going, and that if we're in this for the long haul, and that we will definitely get some players coming their way. If we're betting on sports anyways, why not get huge bonuses and have friendly people that we can trust doing it? So.
You know, Nick, I've heard that Jazz is not only friendly, it's reliable, and it's competent.
Exactly. Yeah, and they're giving up to 200% sign-up bonus, so there you go. But yeah, I think Chronic this week is going to have or this month is going to have the insurmountable lead. So maybe if Dan is in the chat, he could give his sort of initial thought process on his second half wager coming up here, because this is critical. You have to think. Here we go. First and goal, Washington. So, if the Redskins score here to go up, I guess we got to see what Minnesota does. But at that point, if it was 16 points, Yes. So let's quickly look at the NBA. So Atlanta's going to win. Of interesting note, Derrick Rose is having an unbelievable game, and he did in that first game as well. He has 27 points right now. Trae Young has 31 points.
Derrick Rose, when I was talking about D'Angelo Russell earlier, Derrick Rose was a player who I never really liked. I never really liked his style. Again, the ball dominant point guard is not really my favorite style of basketball. However, I am incredibly proud of how he's been able to have a second career almost. It's awesome to see. I feel like Derrick Rose being.
I agree, and it would. Those injuries, it just even sometimes takes like 2 years before you have that full strength back, and he had to fight through that, through all of it.
They say knees are important in basketball, but I just don't know. I'm not a big basketball player myself, so
exactly.
Yeah.
No, I agree that it's an amazing story, and he almost quit. Like, he was on the verge with that whole going to Cleveland thing, and but no, it's an amazing story, and I mean, he's like at 30 points tonight, and so Minnesota did hold them there. This is going to be 6-6, so that's big as far as I think what Dan's second half wager is going to be. And so again, you guys, if you guys want to get that second half wager, and if you are watching on Twitch, you just got to go to our Discord, which I'm showing you right there. You just follow that link, join the Discord, and in there you can get Dan's second half pick, and you can find out about the contest and lots of free picks and fun stuff going on in there.
And if you're not already in the Discord, I mean, what's wrong? Get in the Discord. Click the link.
Lots of people don't know what Discord is, really.
I barely know. I've been using it for years, and I still barely know.
Well, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Speaking of NBA, real quick, I mean, it's again, we were talking about how much I hate chalk because I really despise chalk. I like the Clippers to win the NBA title this year, and it's super chalky. But who are you liking to win the entire championship? What kind of futures bets are you liking? Maybe not even to win the championship, but to win the Eastern Conference or to win the Western Conference or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's take a look at the teams quickly here. Just so I can
give you the odds as of yesterday. I got them right here. Lakers are 3-1. Clippers plus 325. Bucks plus 550. 76ers plus 750. Rockets plus 800. I'll fade that all day long. Golden State Warriors 10-1. I'll fade that all day long. Utah Jazz 14-1. I like that. Nuggets 17-1. I like that.
Yeah, I like the
and
Nuggets.
Then after that,
I definitely think the Nuggets offer value. But out of the East, yeah. You saw what Uncle Drew did yesterday in his debut for his team.
Unfortunately, yes.
50
Unfortunately.
points. And so and so you saw what Kemba Walker did. He had 12 points. But yeah.
Bringing up bad memories of last
record,
night.
by the way. That was a record set by Kyrie
Yeah, for a
Irving.
debut, I saw that.
Debut.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. So look at, it's got to be in the Atlantic, right? Boston, Brooklyn, Philly, and then in the Central, Milwaukee. But yeah, I mean Detroit, Indiana, but I don't know. The Southeast, look at Atlanta, Charlotte, Miami, Orlando, Washington. Wow, so really Atlanta has an opportunity there to do something in that, and Miami, I guess, is the favorite in the Southeast.
Yeah, they would have to be.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's really sort of wide open in the East as far as it comes down to chemistry and
Meanwhile, between the Lakers, Clippers, Rockets, Jazz, Nuggets, Blazers, Pelicans, Mavericks, and Spurs, that's 9.
Mm-hmm.
One of those is missing the playoffs.
Wow.
And I'm not betting against Greg Popovich.
Yeah.
I'm not. I really like the Utah Jazz. I mean, the Mike Conley edition, huge.
So the Lakers missed last year with LeBron. There's no chance it happens this year, in your opinion.
If they're healthy, I mean, unless it's an absolute, like, both Davis and LeBron get hurt, I think they're going to obviously make the playoffs. Yeah.
Right, okay. No doubt.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Drew...
I mean, I honestly think that you're looking at, like, I mean, the Pelicans, as much as they got a lot, and they do have a lot of talent. Again, I went to Arizona State. I used to live in the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
When I lived there, Alvin Gentry was coach of the Suns. And I became a huge hater of Alvin Gentry while I lived there. A lot of people are on, like, hey, Alvin Gentry's the Pelican coach. Isn't he great? I'm the opposite. I'm taking the under win total for the Pelicans simply because Alvin Gentry is the coach.
Right. So Dan
he had a lot
here,
of talent.
Dan is saying, he's back in the chat here, Bucks or 76ers from the East he likes.
I mean, I'm obviously holding out for the Celtics, see if they can gel. And, you know, I'm going to trust Brad Stevens 100%. I'm going to trust, like, I'm a huge fan of the fact that they got rid of Kyrie and got Kemba Walker, because everything they say is that Kemba Walker is an absolute team player first. And, again, the Celtics could lose every single game until Christmas. And I'm still going to say, you know what? Now is when the season officially starts. However, I think, it's got to be Bucks or Sixers, unfortunately. I hate it, but unfortunately.
Well, I definitely like Boston tomorrow to take out Toronto at home. They don't want to go down. I mean, of course, they don't want to go 0-2, but to also lose to a division rival at home, I think it's like... I definitely
in
like
front of the
Boston.
Garden, when you know there's questions and you know everybody knows that Kyrie just went off for 50 points, right?
Right.
Like,
hey,
so.
Hey, Drew, even though we're not quite here at the half, I'm going to let you go, man, because you've been just fantastic. And
thanks, man. I appreciate that.
It's been... Thank you for sitting in for so long and doing so great, because that's maybe my format's going to change in the future. I don't know. But for now, this is sort of how I'm doing it. So I totally appreciate you sitting in. You've just been fantastic. Your insight has been really great, and I've had a lot of fun. So why don't we just say goodbye?
Insight's been a little shaky. But let me real quick just say thank you. Honestly, thank you for just talking sports gambling. I mean, it's just that's what I love to do. I love to talk sports gambling. Thank you so much for plugging the show like you have done. And guys, every Wednesday night sports picks. It's by far, I always say it on the show, but literally, it's my favorite thing I do all week. I love every single Wednesday night. Usually hump day is like that awful day, but guys, check it out. 1530 Productions. Contest Pick'em is free every single week. And $100 Amazon gift card goes to the winner. If you get nothing right, you get 50 extra prizes. But Nick, thank you. Honestly, thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
For sure, Drew. Good work, man. You did fantastic.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks.
Okay, take care.
All right.
We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, later. Okay, you guys. So here we go. What do you guys think of Drew? I thought he was pretty good. I thought he was really fantastic. And so I totally urge everyone to go check out 1530 Productions. I know Chronic has been over there. I know William has been over there. So you guys, we are getting ready for the second half, and we're getting ready for Dan the Professor Kaiser. Dan is one of the top professional handicappers in the world. He is an exclusive covers expert. I'm totally pumped to have him on my show. He's agreed to come on. He doesn't have a huge social media presence, and so this is sort of an exclusive thing that he does for the show, and he's agreed to come on. You're going to get his second half pick if you join our Discord. I'm looking forward to seeing what his second half pick's going to be here. It does look like the Vikings could be moving the ball in for a score. I need to take a tiny break here myself, and I will be right back. And I'll be back in the middle of the second half, and we'll be right back, you guys.
Christmas lights, exercise equipment unused, and a box of old stuff labeled old stuff. Put your garage to actual use with EV home charger rebates of up to $700.
So how is the bookie killer of the day looking, you guys? How is my bookie killer of the day looking? When you have to completely give your full attention to your guest, like Drew, you can't watch everything. It's impossible. So what are we looking at here? Chicago is down 1-0 after one. The Islanders are up 4-2. That's good. I'm on the Rangers. I'm on Atlanta in the NBA. I'm on Houston in college football. And I have a teaser going in this game, which is on the Redskins and the over 35 points. So really a touchdown here would personally do me great. And they're in. That's a touchdown, baby. Oh, yeah. So, beautiful. What can I say? These old NFL themes are pretty hilarious. So, Trae Young, 38 points. A beast. So, we're going to get ready to welcome in Dan, the Professor Kaiser, here in a moment. And, thanks, man. Thanks for the big cheer. For sure, Drew, you were fantastic. Thanks again, man. I'm ready to sit in. 5 minutes is way better. That's what I would like to do. Have like 5 minutes of guests. But anyways, for now, this is the format of the Insider's Room. Maybe on American Thanksgiving, I'm going to do like a 12-hour stream, and we'll see what happens. Well, there we go. We're going into the half at 13-6. So if you want to get Kaiser's second half play, you got to join our Discord, you guys.
Grammarly ensures your writing is mistake-free and clear, as well as more interesting, or better yet, more enjoyable. Because the better we understand each other, the better we connect.
My wife is asking me what I want to eat. All right, so where's Dan's play? Has he put in his free pick? Let's it's time to try to get the overall. It's time to get the overall feeling of being pumped up going here again. That's what I'm trying to say. Words come out of my mouth, please. All right, so we're going to bring Dan Kaiser on here shortly, and I'm really looking forward to it. He's got a few NBA games that he wants to look at for tomorrow. I know that. Yeah, there's some interesting stuff going on in the NBA for sure. Maybe that's too loud. I have a difficult time knowing exactly the levels all the time. So here we go. Bum, 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 bum. There's Philadelphia. It's crushing Chicago. What's going on with Chicago? So we'll get Dan on here in a moment. And in the meantime, we're going to listen to the house band for a few minutes. So, who do you think Dan's going to take in the second half? Maybe we should get him on before it starts, just so that we can see what he says. So, as soon as we finish this song, we're going to get on to Dan, the Professor Kaiser, get his second half bet, and I'm really looking forward to that. He had the under on Monday night. Maybe he's going to take the over here. I don't know, but that late touchdown, that always scares me away. But that could also trigger a bunch of scoring in the second half. I don't know. We'll see what he thinks. Alright, so let's try to bring in Mr. Dan Kaiser. Hey Dan.
Yep.
How are you?
Good.
Wow, we got somebody subscribing here at Tier 1, Mr. Mike Davis. Thank you, sir. So, Dan, you got to hit your...
I I know.
your video button there.
I know.
Thanks,
Well,
Mike. You didn't need to do that. I don't know if you drop your Twitch Prime or not, but that's really cool.
Here we go.
And so, Mike, you got the Bookie Killer emote, the BK. That's your tier 1 emote. Here's the tier 2 emote, the 10-star play. And then the tier 3 emote is the winner chicken dinner. Yeah, Mike's got the BK. That's awesome of you to do that. And so I'm hoping that Mike will come on the show too, actually. Mike is one of the sharpest NBA handicappers in the world, hands down. And it would be, he has a channel here on Twitch, actually, which has a really big following compared to our channel here on Twitch. And so it would be great to have Mike come on, and that's great that you subscribed. Thanks a lot. Totally appreciate that. But here's Dan, the professor. How are you tonight, sir?
I'm all right.
So have you made your second half?
Yeah, that last touchdown. I don't know, kind of.
So you made your free pick in here. Okay,
Yeah,
not quite yet. Okay.
Put it in a second.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at. I don't know, the last touchdown. I was hoping for something else, but I'm going to go free pick. Will be Minnesota -7.
There you go. I like it. Good call.
Yeah, I don't know. I was looking at the under, but 20.5. I could just see maybe 3 touchdowns being scored,
Right.
and I'd hate to lose. Hate to lose it by a half.
Okay, so that play is coming officially in our Discord here.
Post it.
There it is.
I just, I think, say Minnesota, because Minnesota's obviously has been playing a lot better than Washington in the first half. I can see them scoring twice in the second half, and then maybe Washington getting that garbage touchdown, and then I would be hating life again. So, figure if they score twice and Washington scores a late one, then at the worst I come out not losing. So, Minnesota -7 second half.
All right, there it is, the official second half pick.
Good call on Atlanta today.
Yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I was on Detroit, but.
Oh, you had Detroit today? Because I had Detroit yesterday.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, that worked out.
Obviously, you didn't get to see the game, but I mean, Trey Young was hitting threes from, I don't know, from wherever he wanted to. It was incredible the first half.
Mm-hmm. No, he's an unbelievable player for sure. So did you have anything in the college football? I have Houston, and so I need them to do something here on this drive.
Tonight, I didn't like anything. I've got the Houston Bucks over.
Mm-hmm.
The Bucks seem to be playing a little bit better in the second half. They didn't really show up in the first half. I mean, that's going to be close. It was basically right on the number at halftime. So it's one of those what happens on the stretch.
Yeah, that's an interesting matchup for sure. And there we go. There's Houston. There you go. The Cougars just scored a 75-yard touchdown.
Yeah, it's another one of those nights where I got to claw back at the end. I haven't started out good. I lost the Pistons. I had the Islanders under, and then I haven't looked at the box score, but it looks like they probably scored.
Here's my wife in the chat. This is Chen Yelek.
So it looks like they might have scored too late, both ways. So that's a loss. So I've got the Blackhawks under and the Capitals going later. So
No, Washington's already playing, and so Edmonton is winning 1-0.
See, there you go.
And you have the under in Chicago.
I got the under into Chicago.
Well, that looks decent. It's 2-0 halfway through the second.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah, Houston did get that touchdown, by the way. So that's good. And so, if you wanted to... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to bring up the NBA because I knew that you had been looking ahead till tomorrow, Friday night, on a couple of games. And so I just wanted to quickly, before we touch on your two games there, I just wanted to get your opinion on the Boston-Toronto game, because I talked about this with Drew beforehand, and he's just a Boston fan naturally, and so he tries to not tries to use discretion whenever betting for or against Boston. But yeah, he sort of liked Boston, and so did I in that matchup against Toronto. In Toronto, of course, got pushed to the brink there by the Pelicans in their first game. Were behind the entire game, and then tied it up and went to overtime. And so it pushed the total over, and they covered in that overtime period. I had the Pelicans. I had the under, and so...
Yeah, I stayed away from that game, but I would have taken the Pelicans too, and probably would have broke my TV when it was over. So, yeah, that was a tough one. Yeah, I'm not all that impressed with Boston, but I'm with you. Playing at home, coming off
against
that
a division,
coming off that loss to Philadelphia.
Yeah. Where they had the lead for the first three quarters, yeah.
Right.
And then fell apart in that fourth, yeah.
And I had Philadelphia, so...
A lot of people also hitting that Minnesota game. That line opened at -4, and it's since gone up to -5.5. So, people loving the Wolves. The Wolves upset... who did Minnesota? Yeah, they upset Brooklyn. That's right. 127, 126, and Kyrie Irving went off for 50.
Yeah.
And so that was the most ever points in a debut. And we had talked about that earlier. So do you think that...
I don't know. Here's the thing. See, because I was on the Bulls against Charlotte, and I watched that game, unfortunately.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
so
yeah, they beat but I mean, as I told you the other day, I'm gonna bet a lot of Bulls overs because they don't play defense, and they didn't score in a lot. Bulls were up 10. They were up 10 with like 5 minutes to go, 6 minutes to go, or something, and they didn't score for 5 minutes.
Right. And so Mike Davis here, he's saying the Clippers, one, looks too easy, but I'm all over them. Simply too good for the new look Warriors. Okay, so there you go. And that's from one of the top professional cappers, NBA handicappers, documented. So there you go. Yeah, no, I mean, just unbelievable, Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah.
What I would, everyone, if you will recall, the Raptors were down 0-2 to Milwaukee. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 0-2 to Milwaukee in that series. And it was Leonard that completely willed them back into that series. And then it was just unstoppable from that point on, leading to that incredible shot. And yeah.
Yeah.
And
well,
so
I agree with that.
It just is... He could have played that hard for the Spurs, too.
Yeah.
And he could have done the exact same thing, and they would have won too. The Spurs would have won. They would have won.
But
And
yeah,
he did not like Greg
yeah.
Popovich at all. Right? Or what? What? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm sure
Yeah,
people have talked about it. I
but,
just don't get it.
but obviously,
Haskins is
obviously,
in. Oh,
it's
Haskins is in. Keenum is out with a
But-
concussion.
well, but no, but yeah, but even Leonard's always been his own weird guy.
Yeah, no, he's.
There's no figuring him out. But the one thing, I wish you would have had like a three-way guess thing. Could I would like to have a nice conversation with Drew about the Lakers being the third best team in the West.
Yeah, I don't know how we could do. I guess I could. I don't know if I could do that. I could have my other Discord open over here.
No, no. But I'm just saying. Like, no, I like the whole thing. And no. That's what I say. I wish he was here so we could have the discussion. It's not like I'm not talking behind his back or anything.
Right?
But
No.
The Lakers, the third best.
Drew is
team in the
here. In
West.
fact, Drew is here in the chat if you want to talk to him. And Mike is saying that we could do it through Skype. Yeah.
I just don't think they're the third best team. I mean, you look at that game against the Clippers. I mean, first, I if somebody wants to, if I'm wrong on this, I just got this from an ESPN guy. Davis and James for the first three quarters had 41 points and four turnovers. In the fourth quarter, they had 1 point and 4 turnovers. Yeah, they're two great players, but the rest of the team around them was not that good.
Well, they didn't have Kuz, and also, but I mean, just
but the rest
gotta
of the
hold
team
on.
around them's
But
not
we
that
were also
good.
talking about this, is that we should definitely not overreact, like as from one week to week in the NFL. Also, not overreact like the first game of the season.
Sure,
I mean, both teams are new look, but yeah, I don't know. They're top 3 at best, but probably 5th or 6th. So do you not think? So Dan, do you think the Lakers make the playoffs?
they'll make the playoffs.
Okay, because it's really competitive in the West. Unbelievably.
I think they'll make the playoffs. I definitely wouldn't make them the favorite to win it all.
Mm-hmm.
Again, there could be injuries, there could be lots of things happening, but I don't know. James, and I'll agree with Drew that James is probably the second best player ever, whatever. But I just don't
3-1 to win the title. That is insane.
I'm just not sure he's clutch anymore, or if he ever was.
What do you mean? If he ever was? If LeBron
Was clutch.
I think he was clutch for most of his career. And I'm not saying that he still isn't, but he was definitely clutch.
I don't think because I'll take the Miami wins. A lot of that was Dwayne Wade. In Cleveland.
No,
Kyrie.
he's got a lot of literally. He has like more last second winners than Jordan, and so no, I think that he dispelled that whole myth. I mean, he's an amazing two-way player and workhorse and huge stat getter, and so here Mike is saying they're very long. Kuz will help a lot, but they really need a spark plug off the bench. Right, and so Mike, that's true, and so that's where the Clippers' strength is, right? That's with Lou Williams. The guy's like, he's like a force. He's like unstoppable, and that's his role before Kawhi even came there. He came off the bench anyways.
Right.
And so
And
now, yeah. No, the Clippers look crazy because Leonard is just so dominant. So, who knows? Who knows? Of course, but yeah, just in the early going, they look pretty awesome. I guess tomorrow night will really be a good barometer. If they smoke the Lakers and if they smoke Golden State in Golden State in their new building on opening night of the building, then yeah. I guess we gotta say they're the best. They're the best.
Yeah, but again, I'm not even. But this isn't. Yes, this isn't even last year's Golden State team.
Well, D'Angelo Russell had his best statistical season ever last year in New Jersey and was basically, yeah. So.
But and the reason he's in Golden State is because they don't have Klay Thompson.
No, they traded. Who did they trade? It was in the Kevin Durant trade that they got him. So that's the reason why he's there. And then they thought about trading.
Because it's like because but the only reason because they need somebody for a half a year or this year to replace Klay Thompson. I mean, they had to get
Klay Thompson.
Something.
Is he ever going to come back and be the same? I mean, how can he come back from those types of huge injuries? I mean, I just can't see him being the same player. Look at that.
Well, it's just a torn ACL. He'll be back.
It's just a torn ACL, yeah.
But in saying that, then obviously Brooklyn's crazy to pay Durant that kind of money.
What team is the most improved in the NBA this season? Make no mistake about it. This is a bad Golden State team with Klay. So Mike Davis is saying even with Klay, they're horrible. Really going to suffer defensively on the perimeter. The Suns without.
So he kind of makes my point. If the Clippers win tomorrow, it doesn't really say a lot.
The Suns, yeah, they're the most improved. No. The Suns laid a beat down in their opening game. The Suns have been winning the lottery for a long time. They got a lot of talent there.
Yeah, but they've also been.
Yeah, without Klay, not with. Okay, without Klay. That is bad Golden State team without Klay. Right. Yeah. But what about with a banged up Klay that's coming back from a massive injury after a year of not even playing? That's not going to be the great Klay. That's going to take another year after that, and hopefully he comes back. So it's like 2 years, minimum. And who knows for sure if he'll come back, because you can't ever say for sure that they're going to come back the same.
Well, I'll give you that. No problem.
You can't say.
I don't have a problem with that. Well, yeah.
What do you think, Durant? Durant is out for the year.
I'd rather take my chance with Klay coming back than Durant. Definitely, Klay's got a better chance of coming back than Durant does.
This year? Oh, Durant isn't coming back this year.
No, and I don't think Klay will either.
No, he's not.
He could. Technically.
Yeah, but I think they just don't push that anymore. This was the whole thing with Kawhi Leonard, right? He was the first one that really said, "Forget it. I'm not going to come back early," and didn't come back, right? That was sort of part of the whole.
No, he wasn't the first. No, Derrick Rose.
Right. You're right. That is true.
Derrick Rose is the first.
Yeah, you're right.
And then, but I'm not. Yeah, and then Leonard, but here's the thing, though. Klay did. Klay tried to play last year, and look what happened.
Yeah, and Durant.
Yeah,
exactly. So there you go. Yeah. You try to play because you want to really get out there. Well, look what happens. Your whole career is in jeopardy. But now look at Kawhi, who didn't. And how about your second half play here?
Now, but I'm not, but because nobody's ever actually come out. Supposedly, what was wrong with Durant had nothing. Supposedly, and who knows? And Durant's never said anything. Really, didn't have anything to do with Achilles. But who knows? But Clay is that but Clay, yeah, Clay blew out his knee. So, I don't know. You're right. Clay might not come back and be any good, but I'd rather take my chances with him than Durant.
Well, all of this basketball talk leads into some NBA games that we were going to talk about for tomorrow. Did you have a couple that you were thinking about? Chicago or something, or New Orleans, Dallas and New Orleans.
New Orleans, Dallas. Looking at that one. I mean, as I mentioned the other night when we were talking, I like Dallas. I mean, it's just the fact I want to see Doncic and Porzingis play. I mean, and look, Doncic was 134, 9 boards. Porzingis scored 23 in the win over Washington.
Mm-hmm. Washington, you saw that their starting lineup.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, that's brutal.
But a win's a win.
Yeah.
A win's a win. And you look at New Orleans. I mean, basically, they were led by everybody that wasn't on the team last year.
Right.
I mean, Ingram had 22, Redick had 16, Josh Hart had 15. My least favorite player in the league, Lonzo Ball, didn't show up. So
what do you think?
I'm looking over 228.
Okay.
I think
It's
Dallas.
just going to be no defense.
I just don't think there's going to be any defense. I mean, they gave up 130 to Toronto. Yeah, Toronto's good, but I don't.
Yeah.
They're not. When I look at Toronto,
So
I just
that's
don't see them
you like the over in that one.
over 228 and
Yeah.
a small lean to Dallas.
It's a good call. Yeah, New Orleans threw everything it had into that one. Couldn't get it done. Sort of seems like a letdown spot.
I would like to see that, but I'd like to see that New Orleans team with Zion in there. I think they could be a fun team to watch.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he needs to lose some weight. Really? What are you, 6'6", 6'7", 280? I think he's going to have to lose a little bit of weight. But
Yeah, he's one of the biggest guys in the whole league.
yeah.
I think he's the second biggest guy in the whole league already.
All right. Yeah, okay, I'll give you that. I heard something. He was like the fifth. But either way, second or fifth, he's still 280, but he's only 6'6". So, and that's a lot of weight. That's a lot of weight to be carrying on that kind of frame. So.
Well, that reminds me of a Charles Barkley, right? Definitely.
Yeah.
He's 6'6".
Yeah.
But he played. He could just go up against any size. It didn't matter, right? He had such a low center of gravity, and he could, just dominate at any space.
But I don't remember Charles having knee problems early.
No.
And that's what I'm saying. He hurt his knee.
He was an incredible player, though. If you remember him playing on the Suns and just nailing 3-pointers left and right,
or even in Philadelphia. Yeah, even in Philadelphia. Well, what I'm saying about Zion is this is like his third knee injury. They're saying in 4 years he hurt it in high school, he hurt it in Duke, and then he's hurt it again.
Mm-hmm.
And you can't be carrying around that kind of mass. I mean, if you drop 15, 20 pounds, he's still going to be awesome, and he might even be better. And then second game I'm looking at,
Mm-hmm.
Bulls Memphis. And when I posted my play at covers on the Bulls game the other day. The Bulls have got probably the easiest schedule until the middle of November. It's so easy based on last year's teams, the record of last year's teams. And I mean, to be honest, the game against the Charlotte, that was just it was a letdown. It was a joke. But Marketing stepped up. He had 35 and 17. My biggest problem with the Bulls team is Zach LaVine. He still has the in his head that he's like the man. He only scored 16. He went 7 for 17 shooting, and he always has to like take threes when he thinks the team needs it, and it just hurts. But they're playing Memphis.
What do you think about Lauri Markkanen?
I like Marketing if he can stay healthy.
He had a huge game. He had like 35 points, I think, in that one.
He had 35 points, 17 boards.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, that guy's nuts. I
his
think, yeah, I like the Bulls. So
years.
what are you saying in that game?
I've been burned. I'm trying to read my writing here.
So Boston's already moving to 3 at most places. Yeah, and so you can't even get 2.5 anymore. The only place left is at Pinnacle.
Again, I'm leaning the Bulls. Plus, I think it's plus 1.5 in that one. I mean, you look at Memphis. I mean, Jaren Jackson Jr. I mean, that guy in a year or two is going to be awesome. But I mean, he's like, and to be honest, Jay Morant looked good. Jay Morant looked good in the first game.
Mm-hmm.
But they just don't have a lot right now. They just don't have a lot. They have those two, and they're young. So I'm leading the Bulls minus 1.5. And again, as I said before, until they prove me any different, I'll probably bet every Bulls over.
Every Bulls over. Wow.
I'll probably just. I mean, they don't play defense. They really don't. They're not a great defensively, but they can score. They got a lot of guys that can score. I mean, Cody White looked good.
So Mike is saying, yeah, Jackson Jr. will play better at home than on the road for sure.
But, he was a leading scorer for him with 17 points.
Mm-hmm.
He didn't shoot well.
So this is Haskins in here, eh?
Yeah.
Look at this little under the dump pass there, eh?
All right, give me 1 second. I'll be back.
All right. So Dan is going to be right back here. Mr. Mike Davis stepping up and subbing up on the show. That's sweet, brother. On Twitch, and then we're also over on YouTube, and going on Facebook, and going on Twitter, and on Mixer. Anyone in here? No. Wow. Washington now moving this ball, and that's what I want to see. So I have a teaser on this game. That's my big play. I got Washington plus 24 and the over 35. Big Peterson play there. Man, he wants this one more than anything. Houston, Milwaukee. Okay. Apparently, we're getting some oh wow. The Bucks have come back. So Danny, you seeing that? Bucks have come all the way back.
I just need points.
So what do you have in that game?
Go over.
Okay, you have the over in that one. So Giannis is having a monster game. And they're just, yeah.
So I heard you had the under last night in the baseball game. Yeah.
I did, yeah.
Yeah. So did I.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. But I mean.
So are you going to come back with the under again in Game 3? Are you staying off the total, or what's your thoughts then in Game 3? I mean, it's do or die, or.
Well, I've had Washington. I've played Washington both the first 2 games.
Yeah.
So I could lose when you got Washington at what plus 160. I think I got plus 165. You could lose the under.
Right.
What is it, Sanchez against? Greinke. Here's the thing: Greinke's not been good in the postseason. Sanchez was lights out against Colorado.
So, is it just coincidence or?
Sanchez was lights out against or the Cardinals, but I'm not. I mean, I remember when he used to pitch for the Tigers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know what's the? Do you know off the top of your head what the line is? Over under. Yeah, I'll call it up here.
I have it here.
Friday. 7.
8. It's 8.
You got 8.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
8.
8.
Okay, so I opened at 7. See, I missed it.
Yeah, and it's minus 138, or minus even 130.
All right.
So what do you think?
Over.
Over, and so the first 3 games go over.
I'm not even looking at it. I'm just like, I don't see Greinke and Sanchez going 8 innings each. Then
Just
you have
the way
to turn
that
over
this game, yeah, the way it's been going,
and
just
then
unbelievable Washington's surge here. Aren't you surprised, or what?
Well, yeah, but I think we talked about a couple of shows. I'm a Nats fan. I'm surprised. No, if you would have told me before the series that Game 1, Game 2, Scherzer and Strasburg would have been pulled after 5 innings, I would have told you it'd be 0-2. Houston would be up 2-0.
Yeah.
The Nationals have the worst bullpen ever in the playoffs that ever made the World Series or ever made the playoffs, let alone the World Series. They've had the worst bullpen ever. The bullpen is terrible.
But their starters are awesome. And
Right.
did you know that Game 1, it got up to like minus 200 on the Astros, and that was with Scherzer on the mound. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that was crazy.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
at one point, because I covers, I took it, and then they had to readjust the line and I don't want to get into that. But at one point, Caesars had Strasburg at plus 200.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, I can see maybe him being plus 200 against Cole, but not against Verlander. Verlander's an awesome pitcher. He's not been great in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'd lean over. I don't like either side because I can't trust either pitcher.
Right. I guess I would go personally Houston if I had to choose because, yeah.
Putting a gun to my head, I would take Houston. Because I think Greinke.
Well, there you go.
I think Greinke's a better pitcher than Sanchez. But that hasn't bared out.
Yeah, Sanchez has been really fantastic of late, though.
Yeah.
So what do you? But
And
and
Greinke's
Greinke's been decent though.
stuck. No, he's stuck
Oh, has he up to this point?
against the Yankees.
Well, then
Yeah.
I guess you gotta like Washington. Washington all the way, just to dominate again at home. How can you not like them at plus money? With a hot.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm not. Houston's going to have to do something sooner or later, and that would be the game. I mean, I saw something the other day.
Do you remember when Detroit with Verlander? Similar thing. They won the AL in 4 games. They had to wait and got into the World Series, and then just got steamrolled in 4. I think by the Cards.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, but this is just the opposite though in this one, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I guess because they swept.
But Washington had to wait, and it seems like they haven't missed a beat.
No. So yeah, no, the playoffs is weird. It's difficult, and so I find personally handicapping, as I've said a million times before, handicapping the regular season I feel is my strength. Personally. So yeah, any other thoughts on anything else as far as the NBA tomorrow?
Nothing I can give out for free. No, I mean,
Phoenix is getting 11 points in Denver.
but yeah, I'm kind of like, even though I haven't like shown it in the first couple of days, but I'm kind of like Drew. But Drew was saying it's hard to like, it's hard to like bet early. But I do it anyway. But it's still just it's kind of hard.
Yeah, no, Drew killed it over the first half. Definitely, it was a lot faster pace than what you and I are doing. Yeah, the second half is slower than the first half. But so far, what's going on here with your wager? The Vikings have got it. What's going on here?
They're.
Hey, Dan, I'm going to let you carry the show for 2 seconds here, okay,
All right.
buddy? And, yeah, I'll be back in 2 seconds.
All right.
Hold on.
No problem.
All right.
All right. So. I don't see the over coming in the Houston game, so it's another loss. Yeah, so I mean, this football game's been pretty boring right here. It's better than I guess it's a better game than expected, but if you got Minnesota, you're not liking how this game's going right now, but. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. That's why gambling is not a fun profession. Why would you do that? Unbelievable. Play like that. Person needs to drink. All right, but go back to what I was talking about before. I don't see how you can. I'm not a big Lakers guy. Granted, James and Davis are really good. I just don't see anything else around that team that you can say they're the third best team in the West. And Nick was saying James is a great two-way player. Watch him last year, or watch him in Cleveland when they won the year. I mean, he spent a lot of time taking plays off. I think he'll take more plays off now because he's got Davis in the middle, which may help him. But I just don't see it. Hopefully, not tonight, but in the next couple of weeks, we can start talking about college basketball. That is one of my passions. One of the things I'm really into. One of the things I'm really good at.
Hey, buddy. And we're back.
So
So Milwaukee here is holding on for the win here.
Yeah, but I don't need the win. I need a nice close game with a lot of points. So
yeah, buddy. How was your what's going on here with this? Yeah. You need some points.
Today's not being a good day. Yeah, you can't win them all.
No, that's unrealistic for sure.
Can't win them all, but I'd rather win 2 and lose 3 than get totally annihilated. But
yeah.
Yeah, well, that game's definitely not going over. It's really slowed down the second half, actually. But
So a touchdown here would be nice.
Oh, you missed. See, but you missed it because you're gone. Minnesota had 4th and 1 at the 35, and went at their own 35 and went for it, and missed it. And that's why Washington had the ball there, so close. And thank you, Haskins. Capitals up 2-1. That's it. You gotta. I mean, that's the thing about Washington, man. They can just score. Their goaltending's not been that great, but their offense has been unbelievable this year. Defenseman John Carlson is been unbelievable. He's got.
So look at this.
Huh?
This Milwaukee-Houston game is coming down to the wire here. 111-107. And Houston, too. Houston is on 3rd and 1 on the smooth 22. And there is. So Jason, you missed most of the action in the first half. the show is slowing down here in the second half. But so what do you think about again about American Thanksgiving?
Who?
You coming on at
Yeah.
some point?
You just tell me. As I told you, we kind of joked about it.
Yeah.
As long as it's like 10, as long as it's not 10 o'clock in the morning or 8 o'clock at night, tell me what time you want to be on, and I'll have the full American Thanksgiving on the table.
Nice, man.
No turducken, but you know, we have the big turkey there and all the fixings, and you know.
Geez, I have the over 35 points, and they're at 25, and so really, it's gonna take a lot to get there.
Oh, it's end of the third quarter already.
Yeah, end of the third quarter. So we're going into the home stretch. So yeah, I've been talking to lots of different people, different guests that want to come on, and so we're always going to have a first half guest, and then we have, I don't know, maybe having quarters guests. That would be good if I could arrange that, but that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Me
This format's a little difficult though. You got to have someone that wants to hang in for the whole thing. You know what I mean? And so.
Hey, we'll see. I don't know. It's easy for you.
Well.
You're on West Coast time.
Hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
mate,
It's 7:30.
No, mate, I know what you do, mate. I know what you do. I know you have a lot of things on your plate, and you're busy at times where most people aren't busy. I understand that, but still, it's still only 7. It's still 7:30.
Hmm. No, that's true. No, I really appreciate you coming on, man.
You know, I don't have no big. I'm not complaining. I'm just saying, it's like, oh.
No, for sure.
All right, so come on, let's recap, because I got killed last week. I'm trying to make amends. Let's recap our, what do you call them, our blowouts?
Right. And so I chose Cal, and in the NFL.
Was that the name, the blowouts, or was it the biggest? It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter exactly. It doesn't have to be a favorite. I don't think.
All right. I know, because you don't.
Yeah. So who did I take in the NFL again?
Oh, I didn't write it down. I'm starting to write things down. I'm starting to take notes, so we can remember the next time. I don't remember. NFL, I got the Rams. I took the Rams minus 13.5 against the Bengals. I mean, the Bengals are just poor. And the Rams are going against a team that's, I think the two starting cornerbacks are out, and they have been out all season.
Yeah.
Another one of their cornerbacks is out, so they're like out 3 of their top cornerbacks. Goff should be able to have his will. Cincinnati's putting up 16 a game, giving up 26.
What about Philadelphia at Buffalo?
What was that?
What about Philadelphia at Buffalo? What do you think about that one?
What? Are you just trying to pit your guests against each other?
Haha.
I don't know. Philadelphia scares me.
Mm-hmm.
Because they can look so good and then look so bad.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna pick that game. I'm gonna take I'm taking Buffalo. I mean, they've only lost to New England, and it wasn't bad. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna take Buffalo on that one. Oh, and you asked a question. I kind of got in a little thing with Chronic. Not much, because I've been known to like go overboard in things, and I don't know him yet. So, but you're saying if you change Brady with Darnold, you're talking to Drew about that.
Mm-hmm.
And I made a comment. What Brady are you giving me? Are you giving me the 32-year? Are you giving me the 32-year-old Brady or this year's Brady?
Yeah, this year's Brady.
Don't give me this year's Brady on the Jets. You'll get killed. This year's Brady's not that good.
Well,
even with this Patriots team, he's not that good. And you can give me his stats and whatever, but watch him. You watch him in a lot. If you watch the whole game, he's not that good. And he's been throwing a lot of passes that the old Brady wouldn't throw. So if you're gonna switch him right now at this age, at this time, Darnold would do a lot better. If you give me a 35-year-old Brady on this Jets team, it could be a little bit different.
Well, so what are you saying there? If Sam Darnold was on the Patriots, that they're going to win the Super Bowl?
Didn't say that. That wasn't the question. If that's a question now, no.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to win the Super Bowl. And I don't think, and I'm not. I'll make a bet with you right now, and we can.
So we have a question here in chat. Dan, hold on one sec.
Okay.
So this is one about fantasy and another about NFL. Of course.
Right.
Purpose.
All right.
What's up? So what is that? We got to find out here. Give me a second. These have been difficult games, really. Not the most fun.
So what was the question?
Hold on here.
Okay.
Oh, we haven't gotten to that part yet.
All right. So, would you take New England this year to win the Super Bowl?
I guess so.
Huh?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah? All right.
I guess as far as any other team. You gotta think about them, obviously, first.
Well, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
If you could take New England or the rest of the NFL, who would you take?
Well, before we get to that, we can get to Purpose's question here, and it is name two wide receivers, two running backs, and a flex I should start out of this group.
Well, wait. No, that's a lot for me to comprehend at this point.
Yeah.
All right, just a second. Let me put my pen over there.
Another field goal. It's just a
All right.
field goal fest here.
All right, start with the first position.
So can you Can you look at this on Twitch? Do you have Twitch up there?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you can look, because then you can just look in the chat. Because he's
All
got
right,
it posted in
yeah,
chat, okay?
Yeah, I just can't watch you. All right.
So do you got the chat up?
Yeah. Man, I'm an old man. I'm an old man. I don't know all these abbreviations, man. Who's CMC?
Yeah, fantasy is not my strength. And so handicapping and DFS are two completely different things. Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, well, when did you write that?
McCaffrey.
I'm just joking. No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I'm not into fantasy abbreviations and stuff. If I'm gonna start those, okay.
Yeah. We can have on some DFS experts coming up. But DFS is not Dan's specialty. So, and we were talking about that earlier with Drew, and he does do that over at 1530 Productions.
Right. I would say
every Sunday morning, an hour. And so, Purpose, you got to go over to Drew's channel there at 1530 Productions, which is actually hosting us right now. And definitely check out his. You could be setting me up for disaster. That's true.
Wait.
Oh,
no,
you're
no.
in his fantasy league. Okay.
Okay.
I got you.
Yeah, well, I mean, to be honest, I'll be honest. I've been out of fantasy for years. I've tried DFS like on
No,
FanDuel.
it's tough, and so I'm not going to pretend that it's my specialty. So, I know some people who have been serious, big-time bettors in it, though, and so I know how difficult it is for sure. Absolutely.
But I don't know. But definitely McCaffrey.
He'll figure it out himself then. Well, or go ask Drew. One or the other.
Hey, well, to be honest, Purpose, I don't know you, but I just think you're trying to find somebody to blame when you lose. I'm just kidding. I just try to put up your ineptitude on somebody else. But definitely McCaffrey. So how can you bench him? I wouldn't play Julio Jones because Atlanta stinks.
He's trying to kick Drew's ass. Well,
and then what? How can you set Edmonds when you got
each
Brady?
week you have to look at each week separately. That's the thing. So, you have to look at each week separately.
I am. Well.
So was that a final? This is a final. Yeah.
He came on here at 10 o'clock at night or 10:30 at night asking for us to pick fantasy.
I just need a few more touchdowns here too, and then actually even 10 points will do it for me.
All right. I don't think you're getting it from Washington though.
Wilson is quarterback and Graham is tight end. Defense is New England. Well, how can you go wrong with that? Yeah. From the early numbers. But it's hard to predict each week. Or is it going to have a letdown? Or is this one player going to totally dominate and have like 3 touchdowns? You get them for so cheap.
Hey,
Each position is like a bet in itself, and so it's like a parlay. You have to totally nail each one that week, and in that position.
So Nick, what'd you have in the Houston game? College.
Houston.
All right.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
No, I did. I thought maybe. I thought for some reason I thought
Also
you
had
might have had the under.
Chicago in NHL. And so Purpose had one NFL question.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, this is not. I might get one win out of it. I might get one win tonight. Oh, unbelievable.
so here it is. Purpose is a Pats fan. They signed Sanu, then Gordon on the injured reserve. Then they got the trade for Michael Bennett to Cowboys. Do you see them making another huge splash trade? AJ Green, maybe. Wow, that'd be incredible. You imagine that?
Yeah, but he's out.
So they'd be wholesaling. Yeah, he's out, right?
Yeah.
So
Well, is he gonna get a miraculous recovery? Yeah, but I don't know.
I don't know.
So
the Pats are stacked. I don't think they have to worry about anything.
Yeah, but are they gonna?
They got Sanu.
They're gonna make Sanu change?
Antonio
position.
Brown comes back. Yeah.
Because where's Sanu gonna play then? Is he gonna gonna have to learn a new position? Because Sanu's a slot receiver, and they got one of the best ones that they have.
That was big holding him to a field goal there. Houston did. Sanu, yeah, exactly. Sanu is taking Gordon's spot.
So yeah, but he's gonna have to learn something. He's gonna have to learn a totally new position. Yeah, right. If he can, fair enough. So, what'd you have for dinner tonight?
Nothing special on the menu. Sorry, I'm just sort of getting really tired here at the end of this show.
I know.
And the end of this whole thing here. I'm thinking more day streams at some point would be good. Yeah, but no, we've come a long way in a short time, man. And Dan, as usual, I totally appreciate all of your work and participation.
You know, like I said, babe, if sometime at some point, if there's a game you want to do, or maybe even if you get some other people on here, do a college football Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not your thing; you have to get up early in the morning, or earlier. But you know, I'd be up for a college football Saturday, or you know, if you get a couple other guys on.
Yeah, that'd be good. Definitely to do a college football Saturday or something.
You know, I mean, I'm not sure. Again, I'm not sure how you do it. You figure it out because you're smarter than I am. Now you can get maybe 2 or 3 guys in at the same time, just kind of like rotating in and out or something, or like.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, you can just kick back and watch 2 other guys argue about something. You know.
Yeah. No, and if you guys, I don't know if you
See-
guys saw any of the first half with Drew. He was really fun and great, and I'm
see,
always in
now-
the second half. I'm always bagging out here, but
But no one. But here's the thing, though. Knowing Drew's an Arizona State guy,
right,
if you would have known all that, and if if everything was
Right.
done, that we knew what we were doing, that would have been the perfect Saturday.
because Arizona State has won the last 2 years coming in to Michigan State.
Well, they won last year, and then they won this year. But that would have been like the perfect thing.
Well, there you go. I didn't know
Having us
that
on there, having a, you
until
wouldn't even
this
have
now.
to do
Or I do
anything.
now. I do realize now the connection.
You would've had to do
I
nothing. You
failed
could've
the
sat
moment
back.
to put that together, though.
You could have sat back and just let us go at it.
Yeah, no, that's true. I got to figure out the dual thing there on how to do that. I think I could just have another Discord window open, possibly.
Or can't you do? Well,
No,
would it
maybe
be
not.
like- no, but would it be like? But can't you do it like Messenger?
Skype or something.
Well, but can't you do it like Messenger? Can't you just have two calls going at the same time?
I don't know.
I
But
mean,
that would
because
be
like,
good.
I'm just saying because I know I do some like multiple video calls with my friends, my former friends from Thailand,
Right.
my still friends, but we used to live in Thailand. But like on Messenger, you can have 2 or 3. You can have a group chat, video chat.
Yeah.
I'm not saying something to look in for Monday night. But I'm just saying in the future, if you knew like 2 guys that were like fans of different teams, if you could do it, that'd be pretty cool.
Right. So on Monday, the first half guest is going to be, I believe, a representative from PSP Power Sports Picks. They're also off of Covers Experts. And then second half for you. And then the following Thursday is actually lands on Halloween. And so I'm going to actually take that one night off. Just because it'll be impossible for me to do the show. Yeah.
No problem, man.
And this one's winding down here. Let's see what. We don't need to drag the show on any longer than it needs to be at this point. But why don't we see what happens in this drive? Minnesota is moving the ball quite well.
Yeah, but I think I need a touchdown here.
So, Purpose, if you're a Pats fan, I would say you're looking good, man. What can you say compared to any of these other teams? I guess the Packers look pretty good, though. That's the only team, really, that has any hope, I guess. I don't know. Who else can challenge the mighty Patriots? (19-0) is a possibility this year. The defense is playing out of their minds.
And Purpose, it's not my show, so it's not my show, so I can get you angry.
We talked about that earlier.
Here's my thing. If you are a Pats fan, here's my thing. I'd be
Wacky.
I would take under consideration.
Wacky. Thank you for following Purpose.
Here's my thing. No. Here's my thing. It's not being a Pats guy. Here's my thing. Their defense looks great, but they haven't played anybody.
Right. So a whole bunch of people coming in here at the end.
And they haven't played anybody. Brady has not looked great against bad teams. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And when you guys win the Super Bowl, purpose come back on here and tell me I'm an idiot because that could very well happen.
Everyone knows the Pats are terrible. Hey, Drew, I was telling Purpose
They were terrible.
to ask your advice on DFS. So Dan, we need a touchdown here.
Yeah.
All right, let's bring it home.
Yeah, but they keep calling penalties, so.
Chat wants to know what kind of beer you're drinking tonight.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not
Peterson with
drinking
the over.
Something simple because I gotta do work in the morning. Leinenkugel, Snowdrift, vanilla porter.
Redskins are going to cover the spread, yeah, but not. Dan has a bet on the second half. But this is a 1st and 25 situation here. I think they're just going to settle for the field goal. Or nothing.
Yeah.
Just run it out and kick it. The second half bet was on the Vikes -7. Why are we talking Pats? Oh, you missed that earlier, T-Jack. You missed the talk about the Pats. So, basically, the talk was that the Browns are going what are we regurgitating? What points about the Browns and the Pats? So, what do you think about the Browns and the Pats this weekend? You think the Pats are going to destroy the Browns?
Not sure.
Interesting. All right, you guys, we're gonna do out the last few minutes here, Dan. We got a lot of people watching on Twitch at the moment.
I see that.
And so, you guys, yeah, we're gonna be back on Monday with Dan again in the second half. And in the first half, we're gonna have another handicapper come on. And he also doesn't have a massive social media presence, and so this is gonna be his sort of dipping his toes into the into the whole thing himself. And then on Thursday it's Halloween. I'm taking off Halloween. Who is Skeets? Freddie Kitchens. Yeah. T-Jack. Yeah. the game's winding down, and the chat is winding up. The game is winding down, and the chat is winding up. Yeah, no, we want all you guys to come on. No, this is a good way to end it off here. So what do you... I don't know. I don't know what to think of the Browns this weekend. But all I know, the Pats have been dominant, and I can see them really wanting to spank.
Yeah, again, it's. Oh, there we go. Go!
Wow.
Oh, that's not good. I'm gonna be like again, very so close, but yet so far.
What do you think about the 49ers? I am having a hard time getting a read on them personally. So what do you think about them, Dan?
Well, you can't take I at covers. I did take them last week,
Yeah.
but and I lost by half a point. But they played in a monsoon.
Right.
I mean, you can't take a lot. You can't take a lot away from that last game. Even I know they played Washington, yada yada yada, but you know, the guy slips and falls and he slides 5 yards.
Right.
I mean, they were playing in like they weren't playing in football weather.
They're going to lose to the Panthers.
Who? No. Come on.
You like the 49ers to smash the Panthers?
Come on.
At least the Browns aren't the Redskins, the worst managed team in the league.
Well, I'll give you
Says
that.
T-Jack. Yeah, and so there you go.
I'll give you that. Yeah, but they're close.
Right.
I mean, that's not saying a lot. Just saying, yeah, we're one step above the Redskins being the worst managed team in the league. I mean, when you keep Hugh Jackson for that long, it doesn't say a lot about your management team. When you have Baker Mayfield, Nick Chubb, Jarvis Landry, you bring in Odell Beckham Jr., and the best you can do is Kitchens as your coach. Bring him as your head coach. It doesn't say a lot about your management.
So you are the second person who's voiced the distaste to
You're
the head
right.
coach.
He's not Daniel Snyder. You're right. I'll give you that. I think the only owner worse than Daniel Snyder in all of sports is either Rod Sterling, only because he's a racist, or Jeffrey Lurie, because he's an idiot.
So my brother, he's in the chat. He is T-Jack, and he's going to the game, the Browns and Bills, the toilet bowl.
Hey, I would love to go to a Browns game, or a Bill. Hey, I've been to Bills Stadium. I went there. I've been to a Bills game. Oh, that's awesome. Bills tailgate is awesome. In that stadium at the tailgating, it's awesome. I went there when Montana's last year when he played for Kansas City. Me and my mates took a trip from Michigan all the way to Buffalo just for that game. Watched Kansas City play Buffalo. Montana, one of Montana's his last year. It was awesome. We sat up in the last row of the stadium. We all wore Chiefs shirts, jerseys. It was awesome. It was the great crowd. They're all nice. You know, it wasn't like Oakland where we got pissed on or beat up or anything. It was just a really nice place. It was really nice. I loved going to that game in Buffalo. It was awesome.
Huh. Yeah, in Cleveland. This game's in Cleveland, not Buffalo.
All right. Well.
And the seats are row 15 in the dog pound.
See, yeah, that's what it's kind of on a bucket list of things I want to do. Yeah, I want to go see a game in the dog pound. But it's different now. The old dog pound, though, I don't know if you ever saw any old films. Your brother might know this, but like in the old dog pound, back on the Mistake by the Lake, they used to have. They used to always. You used to see it a lot. There'd be this doghouse in the end zone. Like, people, and what it was carrying this doghouse into the end zone. It takes six to eight people to carry it in to the end zone. But after the game, it only took 2 people to carry it out. They had like 2 kegs of beer in there. So that.
Well, you guys, this is coming down to the end of the game here. You guys know what? So, we're gonna go down to the whole very last seconds here. You ready to call it? I'm ready to call it too.
I told you I didn't like. Yeah, I should have taken the under, but hey, no worries.
No worries, buddy. You'll be back next week.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah, Redskins cover the spread. So you guys, thank you everyone who came out to this tonight. This show is just progressing little by little, and I really want to thank my first half guest Drew, and everyone who's come out. Thanks, brother.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks,
all right,
mate.
Dan. Thank you. All right, mate. Take care.
Cheers and.
All right. Okay. I'll see everyone soon.
Wait. Before you cut off, just let it know. I got my game of the month in college football up at covers.com. So check that out.
Okay, buddy.
All right, later.
All right.